Con.
If you can, the dog trying to wipe it off a little bit. If you can. Nah. Camera to the back. For a small part. Yeah. All right, Shalom. With real biblical Hebrew Israelites coming to you week in and week out to prophesy the downfall and destruction of this wicked and sinful kingdom called America, which is spiritually Rome, Egypt, Babylon, Sodom and Gomorrah in the scriptures. Well, Babylon the Great, I say. Before we go any further, let's give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father, His only begotten Son,
Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushua, Ba'Asher HaKadosh.
Double honors to our apostles and elders at Great Millstone to teach us this truth according to the Bible. All right? And, we normally start with tribe sign from time to time, but, if you don't know by now, then look, man, I don't know what to tell you. The Israelites are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Israelite foreigners. And part of our message is to prophesy destruction. All right? Repentance and destruction is going to happen here on the shores of America, man. Hey, without further ado.
That's the time that we're in. More and more destruction is ramping up. You read the news articles and all that. Someone's getting deleted. You hear about car accidents and all that. He was a 68-year-old man. He was in a car accident in Raleigh a couple days ago and all that. Head-on collision and all that. Passed away in the hospital. But yeah, the message is, destruction. Y'all watching Yahushua is bringing forth more and more of his judgments day by day, That's what he delights in.
Ready? Jeremiah 15:1. Yeah, so then said the Lord, Yahweh Yahushua to me, though Moses and Samuel stood before me.
Moses representing the law, and Samuel representing the priests or the prophets. That's what it's talking about.
It says, yet my mind could not be towards this people.
Why couldn't the Lord's mind be towards these people? Because if you look at them, Jake was premeditating going off. They was premeditating sin. They already have a sacrifice already set up before they commit the sin and everything. The Lord wasn't dealing with that. The sacrifice was supposed to be made when you make a mistake, not when you intentionally transgress the Heavenly Father's laws, statutes, commandments. So the Lord's mind couldn't be towards these people. The Lord constantly kept putting Israel, the nation of Israel, in captivity after captivity after captivity. But Israel was hard-headed. Still is to this day. You have a remnant still trying to work out their salvation and trying to do what's pleasing to the Heavenly Father. But 2/3, they're still going away.
This is Jeremiah 15:1. It reads on, cast them out of my sight and let them go forth.
Cast them out of my sight, let them go forth. The remnant, the elect, they're going to do what they're supposed to do and please the Heavenly Father. But for 2/3, the Heavenly Father doesn't want to deal with y'all right now. He's going to deal with y'all in the kingdom. Right now he has judgments set up for y'all. He has these prophecies kicking off. It's going to be a famine. It's going to be race wars. It's going to be pestilence, cannibalism. These are some of the things that you have to look forward to because Israel doesn't want to hearken into the ways of the Heavenly Father, the voice of the Heavenly Father.
Yep, it says, and it shall come to pass, Jeremiah 15:2, it says, that it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? Then shalt thou tell them, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, such are for death to death, and such are for the sword to the sword, and such are for the famine to the famine, and such are for the captivity to the captivity.
And that's what we're here telling you, We're telling you your latter end, those that are selected for the sword, those are slated for the sword, going to be, slain with the sword, which the sword is which is any killing instrument. You know, in modern day terms, it's a gun, but the Lord has an even greater sword, which is this thermonuclear destruction He has set up for you. You know, He has the famine set up for you. You know, people's bodies going to be pining away, getting weaker and weaker, growing sicker and sicker, because they're not getting the nutrition. Because the Lord is going to have a famine go out through the world. You know, especially hitting this this land called Babylon the Great, aka America. And such are for the captivity to the captivity. You know, martial law, people being carted off in these centers. You know, this cold word. You know, just to keep the stream flowing. You know.
I saw something where somebody had told me, a family member told me how, you know, this famine is real. They tell people to stock up on bread. And I was like, hold on, wait a minute. Stock up on bread for what? Bread's expiration date. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to stock up on anything, stock up on flour, yeast, baking soda, things you need to make bread. You know what I'm saying? You know? But this family's going to be something serious.
Jake doesn't even understand the basics. They just gonna stock up on bread, and it's gonna mold and inspire on them. Versus understanding, you know, maybe I should learn how to make bread. You know, but that's the Lord having that veil over your mind, not understanding what type of people you really descend from. You know, you're a peculiar people until you're out by Yahushua. You know.
Got a precept. In 2 Ezra 16 and 17, it says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days?
Woe means destruction. So death and destruction. Woe is me, who's going to deliver me in those days? You know, Ezra speaking, because he's seen the vision of Jacob's trouble. He sees the vision of the ICBM thermonuclear missiles and the warheads. He sees the calamities that are going to befall Babylon the Great in these times. You know. And you know, he's wondering, like, who's going to deliver him? But the men of the Lord, you know, the ones that's putting their faith in Yahushua now, you know, and in the Lord's will, they continue to put their faith in Him day by day. They're going to be the ones that's going to be delivered.
And you know, Ezra's really knew the answer to this question, but he got to, you know, kind of, you know, what's the word I want to say? He kind of, you know, got out of his spirit for a moment because he saw the vision. The vision was so horrible. You know, he knew that the Yahushua was protecting his way, but the destruction he was seeing was so bad, it's like, damn, who's going to deliver me? You know what I'm saying? Crazy. Verse 18 says, the beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars and the powers shall stand and fear, the beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come?
The beginning of sorrows, you know. You're going to be mourning the loss of family members and loved ones and all that. It says the beginning of...
the beginning, 2 Ezra 16 and 18, sorrows and great mournings, famine and great death, wars.
Famine. You know, famine, we already went into that. You know, it's going to be a lack of resources, essentials that you need to live. You know, food, water, you know, the cheap things that you need to live. You know, it's going to be a lack of that. The majority is going to be contaminated, and there's going to be a shortage of it.
Yep.
You know, and it says,
Yep. 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 19. It says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment.
You know, it says tribulation, hard times. You know, calamity. You got the scourge, beatings. You know, these are going to be sent as amendments. You know, to amend the transgressions that to amend the law breaking that has been going on in Babylon the Great. You know, be it the so-called be it the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the Hebrew Israelites, according to the seed line of their father. You know, y'all broke the Heavenly Father's laws and commandments, so there has to be a way to amend it, some correction for that. You know, and we enter into this covenant by blood, so you know, blood in, blood out. You know, you got to pay. You know, the payment is blood for your transgressions.
Last verse, verse 20. It says, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges.
You know, even though you hear all of these things that Yahweh Shai has prepared for 2/3 of the nation of Israel, you're not going to turn from your own wickedness. You're not going to turn from eating abominable foods. You're not going to return from committing adultery, being a sodomite, idol worshiping. You're not going to turn from these things, you know. But we're reading your judgment, you know. So it's not us that you're gonna have. It's not us that you really need to be mad at. It's Yahweh Shai bringing His judgment forward. You shouldn't even be mad at that because you earned it. So it's right. It's just due.
Yeah, they're not gonna acknowledge that they're going on because they don't. Their standard of what's right and wrong is they accept it from who their oppressor. You know, the so-called white man tell them what's right and what's wrong. So the measurement of what's right, they're going to go by his standard, not the standard of Yahweh Shai. That's why they're going to not be mindful of these ass whippings that they're getting in the spirit. Whether it's hands up, don't shoot. Whether it's you know, the curses. You know what I'm saying? And I claim that devil and his whole family line. Right? He just took the middle finger up. And I'm gonna pass them on to you brothers, man. Our rock is our Lord's will. You know, people think they know what we're talking about. They have no clue what we're talking about, man. All right? Hello. You know, just real fast. We're gonna get right back to the point. All right? I don't know if y'all brothers saw about the video where they was interviewing kids and they was showing you who's the dummy. You know what I'm saying? And they point to the blackest kid on the screen. But what's the perfection of beauty? They pointed to a Edomite looking child. You know what I'm saying? And that's hate. That's hate. You know what I mean? But they sit up here and tell us not to hate. No, we hate wickedness. We hate evil. Right? And we love righteousness, man. But anyways, getting back to the point, right? Jake can march and do all. They're not going to be mindful that this is coming from the Heavenly Father, man. They're not going to sit back and think twice. The reason why your son got mowed down, all right, just getting Thanksgiving food, groceries out of the car, right? They're not going to sit back and ponder that. Well, hello, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are not supposed to be celebrating that anyway. But they're not going to think twice about it. Well, maybe the Lord took my son because we were celebrating this and celebrating that. You know? They're not going to be mindful of the scourges. So I'm going to go back for you. Jeremiah
15. Yep. 2/3 of the nation of Israel not going to be mindful, you know. It's setting it, you know, it's setting their mind to do what pleases the flesh, you know. We're here to tell you that, you know, the works of the flesh, you know, are carnal. They're going to lead to death. Whereas you store these spiritual treasures, you know, it's going to lead to, it's a spiritual bank account that you're going to be able to fall upon, you know, in the time of trouble, you know.
cash in.
Yep.
So back in during these troubling times, because 2/3 of people, they can go to their spiritual bank account and sweet baby Ray Jesus, you know, ain't gonna have nothing for them, man.
Shit gonna be in the negative.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to catch up to make it straight.
Well, play say, I can't do nothing for you, man. I can't do nothing for you. Jeremiah 15:3, it says, and I will appoint over them 4 kinds, saith the Lord, the sword to slay, and the dogs to tear, and the fowls of heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy.
You know, these are the 4 kinds that Yahweh Shai are appointed, you know, has set up for the nation of Israel, 2/3, you know, the sword to slay, any killing instrument, the modern day gun, you know, being mauled down by martial law troops, you know, your house being broken in and spoiled, and you know, your woman being ravished, your kids being put down, and then ultimately you being put down, you know, after they get what they want out of you. You know, the dogs to tear, you know, these wolves and these beasts in the field, you know, your own pet, you know, Yahweh Shai to put the spirit on them, you know, because there'll be spirits created vengeance. You know, you have these spirits that hop on these serial killers and all that, but they're gonna hop on your pets as well, you know. The dogs that tear. It says the fowls. You know, these fowls, you know, the Lord gonna put the spirit on these fowls and all that too. come sink their claw. I mean, come sink their what is it?
Talons.
Yeah,
Talons.
their talons in you, and then come with your beak and pluck out your eyes, demobilize you. Then what? You know, and the Lord ain't gonna just, you know, just cause the bird to do that. You know, the Lord's gonna put the spirit on it, so that's gonna be like a bird with spiritual power. Just
Yep.
you through. And the beast of the field to devour and destroy.
That's the last thing they're gonna hear until they reach the spirit world.
like not to go off topic, but you know they already had this little Greek myth and all that with that bird and all that. How they used to pluck out the intestines and the insides of you pretty much gotta look it up, but it's a Greek myth and all that, where they plug out, where the bird will come every morning and tear out the insides, the organs and all that, and feast on his insides and everything. Yep. And then it'll heal back up. And basically, it was a perpetual thing each and every day that it happened.
Dang.
You know, but the Lord, you know, He's gonna send His fowls to heaven to do damage upon 2/3 of the nation of Israel. It says the beast of the field, you know, to devour and destroy. You know, we're not too far from the zoo and all that. You know,
Right.
During martial law and law becoming, I mean, the land becoming lawless. You know, you gonna have these animals in the zoo gonna break free. Have a gorilla come through. Look like the Incredible Hulk, doggone sling you, doggone cross. Yeah, doggone lion. You gonna be looking like his next little appetizer. You know.
I got this. It's Amos chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I have brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities.
Speaking to a people for a place, the nation of Israel. It says the Lord has only known us, and He gave us these laws, statutes, and commandments. So He's going to punish us for going off. You know, and an example is, you know, if you have a child and you lay down the law, you lay down the ground rules, like what's to be done in the house, how to conduct yourself when you're in public and all that. And you know, they break those rules and all that. What are you gonna do? You're gonna correct your son in the matter that you see fit, you know, because ultimately your son is a representation of you, you know, and us being the nation of Israel, we're a representation of the Heavenly Father. That's why He gave us His ways, you know. And if we don't follow His ways, then you know, it said it in Genesis. It says, if thou doest well, Genesis 4.
This is Genesis, that was from Esau, but you know, we can bring it out because, you know, it can apply that to Jake too. This is Genesis 4 and 7. If thou doest well, shall thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door.
You know, if thou doest well, thou shalt be accepted. You know, if the nation of Israel, you know, was to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shah, because He made us in His image, you know, we're supposed to be that reflection of His ways, then, you know, we're going to be accepted of Him, you know. But if thou doest not well, you know, this is the condition that we're in now, you know, subject to payments, you know, the bottom of society, you know, and the list goes on and on, you know, racially profiled, you know, hands up, don't shoot. This is what we have to go through.
It don't matter how soft you talk, it don't matter how nice you are, it's the spirit, man. These devils will always be as permanent. And these heathens, man. You know? But yeah, you know, that ultimately goes back to Cain, precept we're reading. But you can apply to Israel too. You know? It says, and unto thee shall be a desire, and thou shalt rule over him. But that was the point. So going back, I'm going to read Amos 3 one more time. Go from there. Amos 3 and 1, it says, hear this word the Lord has spoken against you. Not the Israelis, right? Not the Ish. O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities.
out of all the 18 nations, including Israel, you know, he only chose Israel, and he gave him the covenant.
Yep.
You know, he didn't care about these other nations. You know, and yeah, that's a racial statement. You know, that's a racial statement. You know, the Lord is choosing. You know, and therefore he's going to punish, you know, the nation of Israel for when they go off, when they for disobeying every Father's law, such commandments. You know.
Yeah, the Lord hates, man. He hates the other nations. You know, he's punishing Israel right now, but shit. As for the other nations, you know, God said that they are nothing.
If you're paying attention, you're gonna see, you know, the tables are surely turning. You know, the Heavenly Father's word, you know, he's making good on his word, and pretty soon, these other heathen nations gonna be in our shoes. Yep. Esau, Edom, they gonna be lower than ever.
Y'all see that video I put in the group chat? About that movie, that little short film? Yeah, that's exactly what's gonna happen, man. Esau's gonna be the low life, you know, that just can't get over the hump. You know, he gonna be subject to the curses, man. Matter of fact, let's get that real fast. I'll get it real fast. Put the phone on. Let's get that real fast. Dang. This is book of Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 7. It says, and the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecute thee.
You know, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to put all the curses that we had to go through in Deuteronomy 28. You know, he's going to put all them on our enemies, all the ones that hate us. You know, they're going to have to be the ones that can't get over the hump. You know, they try and save, and it's like they have holes in their pockets. You know, never being able to achieve. You know, it's going to happen to all these heathen nations for 1,000 years. You know, hardcore bondage. You know, hardcore captivity. You know. But you know, if we had to go through it, y'all got to go through it double.
Yep. Like that. Let's see where the spirit's going right about now. Let's go to Ezekiel. Somebody burning that drool. Yeah, witchcraft. Alright. It's oh man, there's gonna be a lot of this. This is Ezekiel 35. The point I want is 5. It says, moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it.
You know, and the word of the Lord is these scriptures. The men of the Lord reading these scriptures. You know, it says prophesy against Mount Seir, Esau, Edom. You know.
Yeah, this is modern day Seir. This is a dwelling place. Matter of fact, it's the main hub for Esau, Edom.
Headquarters.
Yeah, headquarters. It says, verse 3, and say unto it, thus said the Lord power, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee. But what they say, God bless America, right? You know, you see that on the cookout cups. You know, they be having scriptures and shit. You know, he was It says, I am against thee, Ezekiel 35 and 3, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate.
Yeah, you know, it's a difference against thee versus for thee.
Yep.
The Heavenly Father is actually against you. You can even look at these Edomites and see how the Heavenly Father is against them. They don't have the melanin, you know. You know, their eyes don't even have melanin. They have the blue eyes, you know. And that's a recessive gene, you know. You can see how the Lord created Esau. That shows that the Heavenly Father is against him. What is sunscreen? You know, Jake don't need that.
Right. The sun is good for us. Yeah, reads on Ezekiel 35 and 4. It says, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh, the Lord.
You know, and this is prophecy. The Lord, the Heavenly Father is going to lay this land desolate. He's going to lay these cities desolate. Esau Edom's going into captivity, and after captivity is going to be extinct. You know, that's the fate of Esau Edom. That is prophecy. You know, and the reason why is because of the atrocities committed upon that brother Jacob. You know, what they did to the Israelites in captivity. You know, you can read about the Trail of Tears. You can read about tying Jacob his feet to one end of the horse and his other limbs to the other end. you know, the horse tearing them apart and all that. This is just a few of the atrocities. You know, it gets even deeper. You know, we don't even know all the atrocities that was committed. You know,
Identity theft.
come, but the Heavenly Father, you know, He's against you, and this is the future property they had set for you. This is the future.
Yeah, well, I say, boom, 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 boom.
You know, He's taking your business from you. He's going to destroy your business.
That's right. It says, verse 5, Ezekiel 35:5, because thou hast had perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, and the time that their iniquity had an end.
You know, Esau continued to put his foot on our neck even after our, you know, even after our captivity was supposed to be over. You know, if you look into the law and all that, you got what is called jubilee. You know, your work, you know, you'll be subject to a master for 6 years. In the 7th year, you're supposed to let him free. You know, but not Esau. Esau wants to continue to make you a perpetual slave. You know, that's why the men of the Lord are out here to tell you, you know, it's liberty in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. That to avoid this death and destruction, you know, come back to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. You know, because with Esau making you a perpetual slave, he has a new instrument, you know, a grain of rice, you know, code word, you know, that if you take it, you know, all hell is going to break loose on you. You know, you're going to drink of the fierce wrath of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua's indignation. You know, Esau's going to get it, but you're going to get it also.
Yeah, you know, you play Mortal Kombat, and after you beat them, they say finish him. You know, that's what's going to happen to our people that take that seal. You know, the Lord protect the angels. Finish him.
You know, like when you play Mortal Kombat, you know, or Tekken or something.
Yeah.
How the Heavenly Father's going to do it, it's going to be a flawless victory.
Right.
You know, everything the Heavenly Father wants done, all the calamities, all the scourges and everything is going to be done unto you. You know, because you know you chose Esau Edom to be your power instead of the Heavenly Father.
Yep. And perpetual means an ongoing hatred. All right, this thing is ongoing.
What is it? The Willie Lynch letters?
Oh man, yeah.
You
Separate. You got it.
Yeah. I ain't too you know, familiar with it, but I did hear some things and all that. You know, pretty much set Jacob against one another, and then on top of that, you know, put Jacob in a predicament to where they could never get ahead. You know, that's just some of the lighter things. You know, it gets even heavier than that. You know, brothers that read them, they know.
Yeah, he put a mark, the 3rd chapter, a nation divided against itself can't stand. You know, he put whole post. 54. Yeah, whole post. Oh no. Come on. Yeah. Right here. Come on. Yeah, get your sword. Go get the sword. Stock out. Yeah. You know, just land back on what you were saying. A nation divided against itself can't stand. And you know, these devils knew that. And they said they would separate Jake by their skin tone. You know, how they look. Even to this very day. You know, that's why you got the big division amongst Simeon and Levi. Alright? Yeah. They're taking Jake, man. Jake somebody got gas for us, man. Man, we all this scripture's our high, man.
Jacob is already destroyed. We talk about a destruction coming for Jacob. You know, the family of temple, you know, Jacob's caught up in this modern day sorcery.
Yep.
You know, the witchcraft. When you foul your temple with like weed is there to escape. Blunt ain't gonna save you in the time of ICBM nuclear missile. Blunt ain't gonna save you in the time of famine. Yo, that's gonna be even hungry.
Right. Man, what's that? I think it's Amos 9. And you know, we're just flowing in the spirit, right? But we gonna still prophesy to you. This Amos 9 and 10. It says, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say that evils shall not overtake nor prevent us.
You know, they're gonna die by the sword, the modern day killing instrument. You know, and it could be anything, you know. But Jacob's gonna perish. They say the evil, the bad times, it's not gonna prevent her. It's not gonna overtake her. Well,
Smoking their weed. They're doing their evil. You know what I'm saying? There's a family coming, but shoot. She's gonna still roll this blunt.
wait till you come down off that high. Yes, it's grass.
No honey buns. Ain't got no little Dougie snacks.
No GMO foods for you.
That's right. All right, one more time. Hey, how you doing? This is Amos 9 and 10. It says, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us.
It says the sinners of my people, speaking to the Israelites. And the Israelites are the only ones that can sin. And what is sin? Sin is the transgression of the Heavenly Father's laws, statutes, and commandments. You know, for the newcomers that are listening. You know, if you're smoking weed, found in your temple, that's a transgression of the Heavenly Father's laws, statutes, and commandments. Eating abominable foods, sleeping with the next man's woman, or if you're a woman that has a man, you're sleeping with another man, it's adultery. You know, that's a sin punishable by death. If you're a sodomite out here, you're down with the alphabet community, you know, the sword is prepared for you. You know, that day of vengeance, you know, that day where you're gonna perish, you're gonna suffer, where you're gonna catch all hell, you know, is at hand for you if you don't repent.
Got another one for you. This is Isaiah 58:1. It says, cry loud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and shew my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins.
You know, and speaking on the prophets, that's what we're out here doing. You know, we're crying aloud, we're lifting our voices. You know, people can hear us from the other side of the street, you know, but the edification is for the hopeful elect. You know, only the elect is going to hear. You know, it says, show my people their transgressions. You know, we're here to tell you where you're going off, you know, because we want to get the blood off our hands. You know, we want to do the Heavenly Father's work, you know, because we understand that we're not going to be saved according to the law, but us being out here doing this is showing faith, you know. And, you know, our faith is going to continue to keep us out here, Lord's will, and you know, correct Jacob. So there'd be no excuse when the Lord brings forth his righteous indignation.
It's Isaiah 58:1. It says, cry loud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet.
And we're not sparing you. You know, we're telling you the whole truth. You know, we're not sugarcoating nothing. We're giving it to you raw. You know, it says, show my people their transgressions. You know, we're showing you where you breaking the Heavenly Father's law at. And we're going to tell you how to come back to the Heavenly Father. You got to repent from those actions. You know, you got to discipline yourself. You know, you got to fast if need be.
Yeah, we'll go through a couple of them, Lord's will, just to give an example. You know, because we always say these things, but, you know, bring some scriptures behind it. It says, to show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins.
You know, the house of Jacob, the Israelites, show them their sins. You know, we're here to correct you, tell you where you're going off. You know, but that's why we're out here on these highways and byways. And the main reason, you know, we're prophesying the destruction. We're prophesying future judgments that are going to befall Babylon the Great, aka America.
Yep. And you said to show our people their transgressions, right?
Come.
This is Leviticus 11:7. Because this is a big one amongst the house of Israel, man. It says, and the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you.
Well, it's an unclean animal. You got to look at the functionality of the pig. What does it do? You know, back in the 1800s, you know, pigs was running free. They was the ones that was cleaning the earth. But you want to put that in your system. You want to put that in your body, not knowing that that's what's tearing your body down. But the ways of Yahweh Shah, not eating swine, you know, that's a way of life. That's a way of preserving your life, you know. Yeah, pretty much, you know, eating swine, pretty much, yeah, like I just said, you know, you're tearing your body down. You put parasites in your body. These parasites rob your body of the nutrients that it needs. You know, it robs the body of the nutrients it needs and all that. And you know, this is because of gout and high blood pressure and all these other ailments.
Yep. Yep. It says, and it made sense because you didn't have to deal with plastic. You had to deal with aluminum. All right, back then, you know, whatever you had was trash. You threw it out. You know, they ate it.
No.
He just did it. Woo! But Leviticus 11:8 says, "Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass ye shall not touch. They are unclean to you."
So if the law says you're not even supposed to touch their carcass, how are you supposed to consume?
Dead carcass.
Yeah, their dead carcass. How are you supposed to consume pork? That's the thing. You're not even supposed to touch it.
Right.
When the animal perishes, you know, you're supposed to take a pitchfork, dig a hole, and you're supposed to push the pig in the ground. You know, that's all that's supposed to happen.
That's right. That's right. And that's why the scriptures say in Colossians, the 2nd chapter, "Beware lest any man spoil you, rob you through vain deceit, philosophies, tradition, all right, of men." Because people will say, "Well, this is tradition," you know, especially amongst the Latin culture. You know, well, you know, this is what we do. You know, we roast the pig this way, blah blah blah. But that's off. That junk is off, man. And the Heavenly Father is giving you all types of health conditions because of it, man.
You got some Jay waking up, you know. They call it when you put that swine on your plate and all that, they call it low vibrational plates.
Yeah. Exactly what it is. You know, you're being dumbed down, man. You know, it's the old saying, you are what you eat. It says, verse 9, it says, Leviticus 11:9, "These shall you not eat that are in the waters. These shall you eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever have fins and scales in the waters, and seas, and in the rivers, them shall you eat. And all that have not fins and scales in the seas, and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you."
You know, so you know, crabs, lobsters, shrimp, and that's a big delicacy amongst 2/3 of the nation of Israel.
Yep.
You know, they just love their shrimp. Oh, it's high in protein and all that. You know,
Yep.
just the foolishness. You know, this is what you're not supposed to eat. You know, these clean the water. The fish without the scales and the fins. You know, like crabs and all that. Their function upon the face of the earth in the waters is to clean the waters by eating the waste of other fish. You know, so why would you put that in your body?
Oh, you know, back in the day, I don't know if they still do now because I don't even look at shrimp. But they used to contain them because they had the poop still in it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And they would just batter them things up and fry them anyway. You know?
Man, speaking on seafood, and y'all want to call it a delicacy, Elder Monagon went into it like over a year ago. He said this seafood was really lobster and crab. That was really prison food. That's how it first started out.
Poor man's food.
You know.
Yep. But
Oh yes, like it. So going back to what you're saying, that Colossians 2:8, you know, spoiling your mind, robbing your mind. You know, Esau has robbed 2/3 mind by calling prison food and poor man's food a delicacy,
yep.
and then bumping the price up on it.
Yep. Leviticus 11, you know, an abomination is a wicked act. So when you partake in this, you're committing a wicked act. All right? That's the thing people don't understand. Going back to what I was bringing out earlier. If Esau said it was wicked, it was wrong, it was a crime, a lot of people wouldn't be partaking in it, man. But the fact that Esau said it's okay, you know, like you said, high in protein, you know, and they paraded across as fine eating, then, you know, a lot of people think it's okay. It says, verse 11, Leviticus 11:11, "They shall be even an abomination unto you. Ye should not eat their flesh, but ye shall have their carcass an abomination. Whatsoever have not fins nor scales in the waters, that shall be an abomination unto you."
You know, that's self-explanatory. What doesn't have scales and fins in the water, it's an abomination unto you. You know, and that carcass is an abomination unto you. You know, not even supposed to deal with that. You know, the Lord has scavengers among among the earth. You know that Lord, you know that's their part of the food chain. You know, whether it be like vultures and all that, you know, that's their part of the food chain and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm looking for one more slide.
Basically, you're just going into you know, some of the transgressions that the nation of Israel, you know, I mean, some of the sins that the nation of Israel, 2/3, you know, they're still partaking in. You know, we're out here on the highways and byways, and we're making that known before you. You know, so you can have a chance of salvation. So we can please the Heavenly Father, and we can work out our own salvation with fear and trembling. You know, trying to offer up that acceptable sacrifice.
Deuteronomy 22. It says, yep, 22, because this is big amongst Israel. It says, yeah, Deuteronomy 22 and 22, it says, if a man be found lying with a woman married to an husband, then shall they both of them die, both the man that lieth with the woman and the woman, so thou shalt put away evil from Israel.
You know, that's self-explanatory in itself. If a man be found, caught, hands down, with a married woman, and you know, both of them to be put to death, you know, and it's an example, you know, because it shows you that that's wickedness, you know, and wickedness we can't have amongst the nation of Israel, you know. So the judgment for that is being put to death, you know.
Yeah, because you defiling your brother's land, man. Yeah, you defiling it by spraying your seed, shooting your seed up in it, man. All right. She's spoken for. She's claimed already. All right. It's pretty much, it's disgusting when you really think about it, man. All right. You slide and get riled up in something that someone else can slip their riled up in, man. It's gross. Like they smell gross. Oh. You know what I'm saying? You know. But that's promoted amongst our people. Like that nigga Tupac, man. That demon. You know, what he said about Big, that's why F your such and such. Your BIT, you know what I'm saying? That was wicked, man. That was wicked, but everybody, you know, and only in our culture is that so cool. You know what I'm saying? You don't see no Moabite thinking that's cool. You know? Maybe Esau. Esau's weird, I don't know what. Esau, what? Yeah.
Esau's free.
Yeah, he just
open relationships and all that.
Huh? Yeah, he'll pay you to do it, man. Esau's just off, man. You know, but you don't see the other nations now, man. You know, look at these other foreign Ham, right? These dot heads, East Indians, they don't play that. The Arabs, they don't play that, man. Right? It's only our people that think that's just so, yo, you know what I'm saying?
You know, and that precept right there just goes to show you that a woman's value is that, you know, it depreciates when she messes with another man.
Yep. That used car thing, you know. It's just like you buy a used car, you're not gonna pay the value it was when it came out and the year it came out off the lot. No. You know, as soon as you drive it off the lot, it's depreciated, man. That's another reason why we gotta get up out of here, man. Because these women will put on white, put on smell goods, and they have about 100 rods in them, man. But yet you're supposed to bow down, worship them, and give them the world, and treat them like they just came off the lot, man. Yeah, he came off a used lot, right? timing belt old, you know. Your steering wheel is starting to eat away because the sun been so long.
Leather cracky.
Leather crack, yeah.
Little ticks in
but you want top dollar, you know what I'm saying?
Sir.
That's why the Lord said, look, they both got to be put down, man. Because you lost your value. They go another one, Deuteronomy 20, because this is big amongst our people. And then we're going to segue into some prophecy. Ain't going to stick on this too long. But this is part of crying aloud, spare not. You know, lifting up our voice like a trumpet and showing our people where they're going off. Because their enemy's not going to tell them.
Let's like it real quick. You know, you said the enemy's not going to tell them. You know, if we're doing pleasing Heavenly Father, you know, what was it? Moab that said that. What's the name? They cannot overthrow Israel. But if Israel transgressing and all that, you know, they can go to our power and they can overthrow us. And that's basically what you're looking at today. You know, Jacob is in perpetual sin. You know, constantly sinning. You know, laden with iniquity.
Yep.
And you know, Jacob's still just at the bottom, foot on their neck, constantly.
Yep.
You know.
And it goes to show you, you know, Tupac, the hero, for these niggas out here. When I said that, they turned around and looked like, fuck you said about Tupac? You know, he's a demon, yo. But anyway, Deuteronomy 22:5. It says, the woman should not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither should a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are an abomination unto the Lord thy power.
Young and maiden, studs and all that, abomination. And then a man, you know, cross-dressing, Dennis Rodman and all that, you know, just say a few names as an example. That's an abomination, you know. Him, the biggest one. The biggest one. And then you see Esau promote that on one of his networks called Stars. You know, I don't even want to give it like, yeah, all I know is TV. All I know is what you call it. That's promotion of wickedness right there. And the Heavenly Father is going to destroy the individuals that are in that like manner. You know, it's an abomination. It's a wicked, filthy act. And, you know, the judgment for that, like it says, with adultery and all that.
And
you know, to put it.
So like real fast, someone I knew who worked in law enforcement told me, he said, man, those are the most calls I get from alphabet communities. You know what I'm saying? He's like, what's it called? Something with disturbance.
Domestic service?
Yeah. Something like that, yeah. He's like, man, that's mainly them. Yeah.
It really is.
Yep.
I done actually seen it one day.
Yep.
Chick tried to dog and pull the wool over my eyes. And she said, oh yeah, this is my girlfriend. And I'm looking at her like, damn. I was like, she got scratches on her face and her eye dotted, the other girl eye dotted. I said, man, I gotta get about this little freak show.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the reason why, because one is still dabbling back into reality.
And I had to get up out of there. One of them was looking at me sideways, like, what is he even doing here? Looking at myself like, what might you be doing here?
Right.
Break free.
Right. But yeah, I just want to throw that point in slack.
Yeah, it's all good. But yeah, basically, you know, that is an abomination for a man to wear what pertaining to a woman, or a woman wear what pertaining to a man. You know, that breeds confusion. You know, and just like it said in the committing of adultery, you know, they have to be put to death to make sure a witness is not dwelling in the nation of Israel, put away witness out of the nation of Israel. You know, we can't have those examples walking around. You know, when we get to the kingdom of heaven, they won't walk around. You know.
Hey, look, man, I was watching one of the little cartoon networks. It's like a commercial. You watch one of the, you know, you may have a little niece or nephew, or you have young children that watch those little cartoon like things on phone or on TV. Why in the hell I saw a Transformer commercial on there? These supposed to be, you know, 5 years and under type children. You know what I'm saying? Why is there a commercial 4 Transformers on there. You know what I'm saying? Esau gotta go, man. Esau, I got heated. I got so heated. You know?
That's one of the reasons why Yahweh Shai is bringing the destruction. Because the ways of Esau, and then 2/3 of the nation of Israel, they don't even know who they are, and they want to follow behind them. So the Lord, that's the reason why Yahweh Shai is bringing the destruction. Because this is not of the Heavenly Father. This is not His way. It's not how society is supposed to be ran.
Yep. So,
Second Ezra 15:49.
This book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 49, it says, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence to waste thy houses with destruction and death.
You know, and that's what we're going into. You know, the destruction that's going to befall Babylon the Great. The Lord sending widowhood. You know, these niggas and all that with the women and everything. You know, you're not going to have your woman for too long. You know, if you're still in that mentality of being a nigga, and the Lord is going to destroy you. So there's going to be a lot of widowhood. And these women, you know, they still want to be unsubmissive and all that, and prideful. You know, Lord got place set up for y'all. You know, cannibalism, being ravished. You know, in the time of lawlessness. You know, because you don't have a hedge of protection on you. You don't have a man of the Lord. You know, and like Brother Awad said, you know, if you come across one, you know, and you mess that up, it's over for you because you only get one.
They don't get a divorce.
The Lord showed you mercy by allowing you to have a man of the Lord, and you won't conduct him right. Your conduct wasn't suited for that man of the Lord. You know, like the brother said, you're gonna have it worse. You know, try and go out there and feed yourself, feed your kids when all hell breaking loose. You ain't gonna come back. You might not even come back. Don't send your kid out there. They might not even come back. They might be the meal.
They definitely come back. You know, because all these kids know is fucking games. You know what I'm saying? All they know is these games that are put in front of them, man. They don't know anything about real life. They don't know about once that trigger is pulled, you're gonna have another life. You know what I mean? You know how you solve a game, you got like 3 lives, 5 lives.
No.
You know?
No survival skills whatsoever.
None.
You know? It said the sword, you know, how the brother was saying. Once that trigger pulled, you know, any killing instrument, you know, baseball bat, crowbar, whatever it may be. You know, Esau may set up like bear traps and stuff like that. You know, hey, you know, whatever killing instrument Esau has set forth, you know, and pretty much just anything, you know, that could be used to take your life, you know.
While you thinking, you made a great point. You know, you said a bear trap, man. You know, you ever seen a bear trap go off, man? That's crushing bones. That's crushing bones, man. It's gonna be to the point, the scripture said they're gonna be seeking death, and death shall flee from you, man. All right? Can you imagine that type of pain coming down upon you, man? And look, it's only gonna happen to 2/3 of our people, and rightfully so. And they're not gonna fathom or even consider why these things are happening. And the scriptures say, like we brought out earlier, man. All right, they're not gonna pretty much consider why these things are happening.
Tons of booby traps.
Yep.
You know, what snares, stumbling blocks. You know, in that day, and it said,
yep, 2 Ezra 15:49, read from the top. It says, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence to waste thy houses with destruction and death.
You know, poverty. You know, if you read that book of Revelation, the sixth chapter, going into that pity, you know, a penny for a week. That's going into a day's earning, a day's wages, just to feed yourself for that day. You know. So yeah, if you ain't stopped, I'll say this: if you ain't got your faith in the Lord, and the Lord ain't providing for you, then you shit out of luck.
Yep.
You know, because these houses are going to be destroyed. This is prophecy. These are the words of the Heavenly Father.
So just imagine if you, let's say you make $100 a day, right? That's how much a meal's gonna cost you.
And it's just you.
And it's just
You
you.
have to divide that meal by how many people are in your household.
Right. They don't have a clue what's coming to them, man. This is and look, like you said, widowhood. Remember what happened with Putin? Had that draft.
Yep.
People were breaking their arms, limbs, just like to go. How much more? And these are Russian Edomites. How much more do Americans?
They swim in ice water below 0 degrees.
Right.
Come on, man.
You have an umbrella. What? But a lot of these men are going to be dragged off the war, man. All right, a lot of you thugs that are in the hood. All right, a lot of you gaming boys like to sit at home and play games all day. You know, you nerds and geeks. You know, you will be given military wear. All right, and you gonna hit the battlefield, man. All right. That's gonna bring what? A lot of widows. All right. These women without a man, without a husband, without what? Protection. Why do you think Isaiah 4:1 is written, man?
This song for these things really take note of. You know, if women outnumber men 7-1, there's gonna be a lot of men that perish in that day. There's gonna be a lot of widowhood. Just think about how many women are gonna perish. Think about how many women are going to perish in that day if women outnumber men 7-1. It's going to be a lot more women that go than it is men.
Right. And we gonna move down. So just bear with us.
Yeah, I'll come back and get it. Where we at?
Back in Exodus 15:49, it says, I was inflicted upon the widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence. You know, we can't forget about these diseases. It says to waste the houses, destruction.
And going into pestilence, you know, the Heavenly Father said the ones that add unto or take away from the world, He's going to bring these pestilence and these plagues upon them that weren't written about. And then you got to see these counterfeits are adding and taking away from the word, you know. So you got to take that in consideration too, you know. It's going to be a whole lot of deletion and destruction going on, you know, in these times that are coming before Babylon is written.
Yes, we know. Yeah. I'm not sure what it is. 7:20. It says, for there many will perish in this life, because they despise the law of your power that is set before them. And your power has been strict commanded to such as came, what they should do to live, even as they came, and what they should observe to avoid punishment.
You know, we went into Leviticus the 11th chapter earlier. We went into Deuteronomy. You know, Leviticus talk going into the dietary law, and then Deuteronomy going into adultery and you know, a woman wearing a man's apparel and a man wearing a woman's apparel. You know, these people that do this, they despise the Heavenly Father's law. So it's gonna be many that perish. When we read some of the ways that Yahweh Shai is gonna bring forth deletion and destruction in their ways. Sword, famine, you know, calamities, plagues and pestilence, sword, you know. It's gonna be many of our people, of the Israelites, 2/3 of the nation of Israel, that's gonna suffer that. You know, because they despise the law of the Heavenly Father. You know, ultimately despising Yahweh Shai because he was the living embodiment of the law, statutes, and commandments. Of the word.
Right. As we said in 20 today, the many that perish in this life and despise the law that Yahweh that is set before them. Yahweh will create commanded to such a thing that they should do to live, and if they can, what they observe to avoid punishment.
You know, straight commandments. You know, straight goes in the Lord giving straight commandments what they should do to live, you know, and what they should observe, you know, things that you should consider, you know, because 2/3 they really don't want to die, but they still want to take on, they still want to live up to the pleasures of the flesh, you know, they want to enjoy life, but if you're not pleasing the Heavenly Father, you're not doing what's required of you, you know, ultimately, you know, the Heavenly Father's going to get you up out of here. He's going to ultimately cause you to leave. You know, it's a straight way. It's the way. You know, the way the Heavenly Father said, that's the only way. You know, anything else is profane. It's outside the temple. You know, it's contrary to the ways of the Heavenly Father.
Straight with salvation, really.
God. Taking it to 15?
Nah, 7.
Oh, 7? All right. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 7 verse 20. It says, "For there be many that perish in this life, because they despise the law of the Most High that is set before them. For the Most High has given strict..."
And it's sent to the prophets. You know, some of our apostles and elders, they're elders before them. You know, they're not the brothers like ourselves, man. This is the book of Malachi chapter 2, verse 7. It says, "For the priest's lips to keep knowledge." Yeah, the mouth of the scripture. Right? Right. It says,
they should give themselves wisdom and knowledge. This is Proverbs 4:7. Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding.
Yeah, wisdom, the most important thing is obtaining is that a day, man. Right, while we're here on the earth, this short vapor that we're living, we're supposed to be gaining up as much knowledge and wisdom as we can, because this battle is getting ready to hit us. We're going to need this armor, this light, this helmet of truth to guide us in these terrible days, man. These days of the known but unknown. We know that the devil's going to come down. All right? So we don't know which way he's going to come at us. We know the ultimate end goal game. Right? But we don't know how to play out. The point is, getting this wisdom. Why are you not supposed to take a stand? Right? Why are you not supposed to call the Lord anything? Okay? It matters.
Yeah, like things that we hope on, like out eating, us being protected, we don't know how those things are going to happen. You know what I'm saying? That might, cause you to doubt or worry, but as brother and sister that picked up, you got him on that? I got to pick up back as well.
Proverbs chapter 4:7. Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding.
And that word principle goes into chief or most important. So the most important thing for us, of the nation of Israel, right, after we find out who we are, is to get the wisdom and the understanding of what the will of the Heavenly Father is, and it's found here in the Holy Bible. This is Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. And strength for salvation, the fear of the Lord is his treasure. So the wisdom and knowledge of the Holy Bible is what, we're out in teaching. Week in and week out, in season out, we're teaching our people, what the will of Yahweh Shai is, what the condition of the weather is going to be in the near future, as we honor those spiritual weathermen, to tell you what's coming. You see? And having the understanding that those that repent are going to be taken care of, that should strengthen your mind. That should give you hope.
Hope is all we got, man. Hope in how much we got. Let's go back to Ezra 7.
Second Ezra chapter 7, verse 21. It says, for the Most High hath given straight commandment to such as came.
Yeah, he's giving a way, a path to him, to righteousness, to the way we're supposed to be conducting our lives on the earth. You got it?
It says, what they should do to live, even as they came, what they should do, it's like what they should observe to avoid punishment.
Yeah, so we observe something, we acknowledge it. All right? So we come to the realization, all right, what it takes to not be punished by Yahweh. And that itself is a gift. All right? Which really goes back to the faith. But some people don't think they're going to be judged for eating pork. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't think they're going to be judged for putting a Christmas tree up, getting tattoos, being thoughts and wars, smoking their weed, or put on the earth, right? Yeah. And shit is on the earth too. You know what I'm saying? But I don't see Jake smoking that. You got it, huh?
Says, verse 22, nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him.
Yeah, unto him, the Yahweh. Jake has always been in a state of love, hate, which means they were rebellion. All right? They would rebel, they would stop, they would rebel, they would stop. All right? And it's like a woman. A woman do right, then she doesn't. She do right, she doesn't do right, she doesn't. It gets to the point where you get fed up. And it's, look, either you gonna fly straight, you know, Scarface, or you're not. And those that fly straight, they're going to be delivered. And those that don't fly straight, they're going to be deleted. You know?
Hey, isn't it that way?
People are supposed to, relationships are supposed to, when you're in a relationship with someone, like a brothers grow, we grow together. You know? Or you grow apart. You know? And that's what it is. Our people, will eventually grow apart from following the ways of the Almighty and shine. But now that's what we're seeing today.
You got it.
So Isaiah chapter 30, verse 20, and though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore, but thine eyes shall see thy teachers.
That's how we came into this thing. We saw our teachers, man. All right, whether it was through the YouTube, all right, whether it was out here on the street corners, but we saw our teachers, man. All right?
And thine ears shall hear a word behind thee, saying, this is the way, walk ye in it, when you turn to the right hand and when you turn to the left. Yes, so this is the way. Just as the Lord has given our people a way to live, but this is it. And like it's written in Jeremiah the 6th chapter, seek ye the old paths. The ways that our righteous forefathers walked in, and they obtained a good report, the righteous ways of our forefathers. You see, that's what we're supposed to be seeking, that's what we're supposed to be following after.
But nevertheless, they didn't hearken. Going back to second Ezra, that was on the other side. She didn't fall sick. Now she didn't
says, Second Ezra 7:22. Nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him, but spake against him.
Yeah, spake against him, man. Now your woman coming back to me. What, bitch? You ready to go hike on her and shit, That's how the Lord's feeling right now, man. Back then and now. Even more now, man. Remember the Lord's angry with the wicked every day? I mean, that's talking about Esau, but he throw our people in there as well, man. Their wicked acts, their idol worshiping.
You can tell that the Lord's really angry with us, because it's like there's nothing new under the sun. And you said we're in the days of Noah again, And in the days of Noah, the Lord's really fed up. He flooded the earth, saved only 8 souls. This time he's coming on, he's bringing thermonuclear destruction. So the Lord is very upset.
It's Ezekiel 18:30. Therefore I will judge you, O house of Israel.
Look, going back to that Amos 3 we brought out. The Lord is dealing with you, Israel. He only knows you. So he's going to judge you according to your acts, man.
Therefore I will judge you, O house of Israel, everyone according to his ways.
Everyone according to his ways, man. So now the Lord, look, the Lord's going to separate things. He's going to judge you according, one-on-one. What you did with your grace period. What did you do with it, man? What you do with it, right? Did you live according to the flesh? Or did you try to seek me?
It says, everyone according to his ways, saith the Lord God, repent and turn yourselves from all your transgressions.
Yeah, because now is the time. We're waking up to who we are. We know who we are. We know what the enemy is. We know the names. All right? Now is the time to come back to the Heavenly Father, man. We see that the pending destruction, perilous times that are hitting our people. And it's only going to hit them even worse, man. Because got people are unprepared in the spirit. Now is the time, man. This man prepared a dish of death and destruction for our people. And the only remedy is you repenting for your sins and hoping and turning back to Yahweh Shai and hoping that you want to get back.
And it reads, so iniquity shall not be your ruin.
And that is, and it's going to be the ruin of a lot of our people. The undesirable. Zechariah 13 and 8. Okay? The Lord will be put through the fire. Alright? And 2/3 are made of twigs, man. Some are made of cotton. You know what I'm saying? They don't burn, they don't fold real quick. So we break on those precious metal stones, you know, and when you put it to the fire, it makes them even more stronger, more pure. See? Make these niggas very serious, man. Why you think we out here in the rain? Right?
You see what happened the other day? This character, right? These fake characters. You know what I mean? Either miss, you know, changing the narrative. You know, these people God is taking off their taken away. See, people who are extremely hate this. You know, who don't want to you know, and their beliefs doesn't are in line with the status quo. See?
But staying separate us from that Tate guy, Andrew Tate, is Lord protecting us, Psalm 34. You know, 6 and 7. You know?
Second Corinthians 7:22. Nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him, but spake against him, and imagined vain things, and deceived themselves by their wicked deeds.
Yeah, so they don't deceive themselves by their wicked actions, man. You know, well, I'm going to believe in this God that's all about peace, right? Well, this God says I can gain wealth as long as I sacrifice Newports and chocolate and dollar bills unto him. Madness, man. Madness. All that's vain, man. And it's going to lead you down to destruction and the Lord requiring your soul. What that thing said, what was that? Ice-T, New Jack City. At the end when Wesley Snipes got off, the old man was like, your soul's required now.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Hey, shout out, yeah. You know, the Lord's getting ready to require a lot of our people's soul, man, back in the spirit world. You know?
It says, verse 23, and deceived themselves, it's like in 2 Corinthians 7:23, and deceived themselves by their wicked deeds, and said of the Most High that he is not, and knew not his ways.
Well, what does Scripture say about those who say the Most High is not? They're a bunch of fools, right? A bunch of iniquity. Can you imagine? Like you at your job, you're working on a bunch of iniquities, man. Jackasses, dunce. People that don't know nothing, man, and will do anything wicked. Anything. You can put nothing past them, man. That's crazy. That's crazy, man.
But it's the same though, take away the Lord's peace and everything.
Yeah.
It says, verse 24,
Yep.
it says, but his law have they despised.
Yeah, they hated it. What do you mean I gotta worship you? I want to see you. I want to see what I can worship. You know what I mean? I need to feel, I need to touch. What do you mean I gotta listen to you? Right? Yeah, we was delivered out of Egypt, but we want to see who this man is. And then Jake goes and gets a holy calf to worship. They wanted to go back and still worship the gods of their oppressors. Their oppressors at that time, which were the Egyptians, man. Show you that Jake is retarded, man. It out.
It says verse 24. It says, but his laws have they despised and denied his covenants. In his statutes have they not been faithful and have not performed his works.
Up to this very day, man. All right. This is something that's reoccurring daily here in Babylon and throughout the 4 months of the earth where they get scattered, man. Here it is, we're upon a so-called new year. And who's going to be celebrating the most? Jake. Jake's going to be celebrating the most. Give me, who's going to celebrate? Give me book 3 and 8. Because Jake don't realize they're still in captivity, man. You celebrate another year being from the clutches of this devil. When it tells you in 2 Peter 3rd chapter, you're supposed to be looking and hasten and coming for a righteous kingdom, for the day of the Lord, man. So we can be let free physically. If you're already free in the spirit, you know this truth. That's all.
This is Baruch, chapter 3, verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
Yeah, captivity represents bondage, slavery. All right, we're still in slavery to this man. All right, and that's why us in this know and this light. Hey, look, man, we can't wait for the Lord to come back. We're not celebrating nothing here, man, except for our high holy days to the best of our ability. The hell with America and everything it stands for, man. All right. And we can't wait till we get in the kingdom to where you heathens will be partaking in what we want to celebrate, man. We're going to force it on you, man. Right?
Baruch 3 and 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach.
It's a new year, but you're still a reproach. Right?
For a curse.
You're still a curse. You're still subject to him. What is it to be so happy about? And it's the same thing with Jake, man. Right? Oh, 2023 is going to be a great year. I'm stepping over the bullshit. You know how these bitches are, man. You know? Leaving dusty niggas behind. You know? Listen with a good man. Huh? What's that? Oh,
Say one song.
yeah.
Alright.
It says, and to be subject to payment.
Hey, look. As soon as the thing hit midnight, you still got rent. That's the first. You still got light bill, you know? You still gotta go to work. You may be off that day. You gotta go to work at midnight following day. What the hell you just celebrating, man? Another day of hell, another year of hell, another day of overcoming the hump. And they say we the idiots, right? Right? Yeah. Let me speak for Esau. Let's see what it is. Let's see what it is, man. We don't give a damn, man. We don't give a damn no more, man. We ready for the Lord to come back.
It says,
Oh, give me that guy.
according to all the iniquities of our fathers, departed from the Lord our God.
Everybody things are happening. We departed from our God. Not the God of heathens, but our power, man. And nothing's going to change until the elect repent and turn back. And that's what we are here for. Yeah, for our salvation, but mainly for the elect to hear this word. Who are y'all reigning? What are you guys doing? The scripture says, preach the word, be listening in season and out of season. Now to continue to pour down, yes, we will get in ridiculous. All right? But if we can maintain it, we're gonna maintain it because we got a job to do, man. You got it, right?
Haggai chapter 1, verse 5.
Because look, Jake is getting ready for another year of this right here, man. And it's only gonna get worse. It's only going to get worse, man. Why y'all speaking negativity? Why y'all speaking this? That's God. This is freaking positive, man. See, this is prophecy that has to come to pass, man. You got it, out.
Haggai 1 and 5.
Yep.
Now therefore thus saith Yahweh Sabaoth, Lord of hosts, consider your ways.
So the Lord's saying, look, consider your ways, man. To the house of Israel. Once again, it was consistent with so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, right? And you Israelite foreigners. Consider, ponder, think on your ways. Why you're in the position that you're in. Go ahead.
Verse 6.
Yep.
Ye have sown much and bring in little.
Yeah, you work your ass off. 2 or 3 jobs. I know somebody right now that's doing that and knowing that it's not the way. Right? It's something got to give, something got to be different. Something, you know, yeah. Yeah. Repent, turn back to the Lord, and wait.
Our people haven't come to the realization that this is just a punishment for us.
Yep.
You know, they are still living their lives with the vision that America has pushed upon them. You know, what they envision their lives to be. You know, we all know what that is. You know, college, school, family, you know, 9-to-5 job, right? To be a slave, to be a worker. And now people, this new generation, right, is being the vision of the entrepreneurship, right? Yep. So then, if everybody become an entrepreneur, you know, who the hell gonna do the work?
Exactly. Exactly.
And so it's just like financial freedom. This whole escaping the matrix, you know, as they put it, is a lie.
It's a lie, man.
There's no escaping the world that Esau Edom has created.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. We're escaping it through this truth, man. That's how we're escaping it, right? And the hell with you Latin tribes, man. You know, when we come over here and, you know, the black man can't, you know, nah. Judah has it worse than all the tribes, man. You know, you couldn't step a foot in Judah's footsteps, man. All right? Because a lot of the tribes have to look down on Judah, man. Judah been for so long, this thing goes on. He's the head tribe, man. So of course you have a foot from Esau who's gonna be on his neck even harder, man. You know? But the Lord's telling God people to consider their ways. He's putting a foot in your ass, turning like you know, you remember those controllers back in the day? Yeah, Nintendo. Turning it up, down, left, right. And Jake is still not considering why, or even if the Bible has the answers. And it does. You got it out.
Haggai 1 and 6. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but you have not enough.
Yeah, you eat, but you have not enough, man. All right? Especially nowadays. You go to the store, your grocery bill you may need to spend $250, but you only got $80. And Jake can stretch it out, because that's how Jake is, but it's only going to get worse, man.
What is that going to equate to? You know, having to get the more low-end, you know, quality food. Yep. Which is only going to affect your diet.
Yep.
It's only going to affect your attitude more. You know, it's only going to break down your body even more. So Jake is already starting to find a way, you know, and they just don't want to acknowledge that. They just don't see that. You know?
Yeah, you know, that's an awesome point. You made a great point. Because those are low vibration foods, man. And there was a guy on TikTok that would go to the dollar store and make like meals from the dollar store. And yeah, you can survive, but that's low vibration food, man. That's why we gotta get up out of here, man. That's why we should be crying to the Lord and acknowledging what the hell off. All this box food eating is nothing but stuff that leads to cancer.
That's what sloppy food is for swine. You know? Literally.
No. You got it.
It says, ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink.
That's spirit. 144:41.
I was just looking at
That's
that.
spirit. That's spirit. That's spirit.
Just looking at
It
that.
says, ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none worn. It's like, but there is none worn.
Yeah, man.
And then it's like, and he that earneth wages to put into a bag full of gold.
That's because they said clothing. You know, now they're talking about the energy crisis. You know? They're saying you gotta be able to keep the power on. You know? So you can't go buy the new winter jacket. You know, we'll see how you're gonna survive.
Yep.
You know, you in the house with shoes on, socks, your outside clothes on in the house. You know, and then less than 12 hours you gotta be back at work. You know, there ain't no rest here. You know, there ain't no comfort of mind. You know?
And if it is, it's through the scriptures.
Generational wealth. We're not looking for generational wealth.
It says, ye clothe you, but there is none worn. And he that earneth wages to put into a bag with holes.
Why? Because you're a slave. And you're not meant to have or own anything. So Esau has this system set up to where, you know, everything you need comes with a price. But the Lord said we have to go to this man for the want of all things. For what we have done to him. For our way, for transgression against his ways, man. Read the last part again, Brother Bashar.
She says, it's like it, and he that earneth wages to put into a bag with holes.
Yeah, a bag full of holes, man. Because everybody has their hand out. Before you work 2 weeks, a month, or a week, however you get paid, and before you get paid, Esau has his hand in your pockets, man. The tax man. All right? He's taxing you. Then what do you have? You got your bills, right? You have a mortgage, you have rent, okay? And the list goes on and on, man.
We see what happened to these American Edomites that actually accepted the American way. You know, they accepted the college, you know, have a family, you know, and raised them to do the same. And look how that is selling them. Like over 80% of Americans that make that are netting 6 figures, you know, are living paycheck to paycheck. And if you want, you know, a so-called house, you know, a home, just a simple living, that's not even much. You know, because they build these houses with low material anyway. It ain't the best wood. They ain't building your house with the best wood. You know? So they do these things, you know, and look how that has filled the Edomites. How much more are you jigs?
I remember I used to look at the airport, and school Edomite, he was probably about in the, I'll probably say the mid-40s, maybe late 40s, and they was going on a cruise trip. And he stopped me and said, man, he said, you know what? It was like in like this little area where I was at, and he said, you work here? I said, yeah. He said, man, let me tell you, if I'm going to school, he said, get a job, you know, spend your money on you, and you know, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But he knew that. You know what I'm saying? Like he knew that the American people was BS. He was pretty much trying to live my life and be selfish. You know what I'm saying?
Because if you look at inflation, you know, the appreciation of the dollar, you know, there's more FRN in circulation. But every damn year there's more people getting diplomas. So if that market has been inflated, you know, to where now there's more people with a piece of the paper saying they're qualified for a job than there are actual jobs.
Yep.
You know?
Get 1 Corinthians 3 and 19. And sorry, 18. But you're making a great point. And these people know that. These people know that the wisdom of the world is foolish, but they don't know any other way. They're blinded from this. So what the hell do they do then? You know? They just stay with what?
Happy New Year, y'all.
All right. You know, stay with, you know, my mama told me, or, you know, my uncle told me, you know?
Well, I was gonna say, and a lot of these guys with the piece of paper, you know, as you see, they're the managers at your local Wendy's. You know, your local Chipotle, your local casual dining restaurant. You know?
They stick out too. We doing work here. You know? You got it, huh?
1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 18.
It was going to something else.
It says, 1 Corinthians 3 and 18, let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool that he may be wise.
Yeah, man, that's a lot of our people to this day. They think that they're wise by gaining the wisdom of this world. When the wisdom of this world has been failing them. You know, it's failed a lot of our parents. It's failed their parents. It's been a domino effect all the way down to us. You know? But luckily, not luckily, but, you know, for water Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, there's no such thing as luck. Nothing is true, you know that. All right, the water Yahweh Bashim Yahushua for waking us up to this knowledge. All right, and to not to be subject to the wisdom of this world. Go ahead.
Verse 19, for the wisdom of this world is foolishness.
So he said, let him become a fool. And he may become wise because, you know, as we know, you gotta come into this thing born again as newborn babes.
That's
You know, the wisdom of this world, it might teach you, you know, carnal things, but what everyone in these last days is coming to the grips to is that they're missing a part of them, which is the spiritual side. You know, they're missing the part of where they're healing their minds. You know, and you know, as women like to say, their traumas. You know, because America has traumatized you. You know, and the only thing that can heal that trauma, heal, you know, that mind, you know, is this word, this knowledge, this comfort. You see?
And these bitches go get on fucking depression pills, man. They run the Esau. That's why, you know, like I said, man, you may have your woman physically, right? But it's about having her up here. You don't have your woman up here. If you had your woman, she'll listen to what the fuck you say. Right? She would be submissive, but that's the curse. She don't look at you as a wise man. She looks at Esau as a wise man. But what field did you study? You know, what did you learn about? Do you have a doctorate degree? Right? They gonna look at you like you're a fool, man.
That's why I was going to say, it's simple, believe every word.
Done.
Not a funny, you know?
Yep. That's why when you know that scripture, right? Read it, and I'm gonna bring this up.
It's 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 19. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High, for it is written, taketh the wise in their own craftiness.
Yeah, man. So the Lord's gonna take people who think there's something and know something. All right, He's gonna take the wise in their own craftiness, which is ultimately going to these elites. All right, but they're NWO. Also down to the average Jake the Ticket somebody, man. When you're young, what do most parents do? Well, baby, you're gonna bring home a doctor, a lawyer, you know, someone who got some type of wisdom and understanding. And the true wisdom and understanding is giving the man the Lord, man. Right. You know, the scriptures say to give your daughter over to a man of understanding. I'm paraphrase. All right, and they think that it's old, the wisdom that's been taught to them by their oppressor. No, don't, man.
I mean, look at these colleges. You know, the standard of education has the whole world. They don't even know what they are. You know, people don't even know what they are. They're offended by words.
Yep.
You know, why happened to sticks and stones that never hurt? They heard about
Sticks and stones to break my bones. The words never hurt.
what happened to that?
Yeah.
You know, what happened to have some self-confidence about yourself? But this whole, it tells you they're letting anyone into the school system, anyone that's willing to get in debt.
Yep.
You know, there's no hope in there.
None at all, man. It leads to become a further, a more in line slave, man. All right.
Verse 20. And again, the Lord knoweth the thoughts of the wise, that they are all vain.
They're all vain, man. Emptiness. Okay, it leads to nothing. Especially if you're an Israelite.
You mentioned like the elites, right? Like, the elites have a vision of what they want their ideal life to be, world to be like.
Yep.
And that's just like you American people. You have your ideal world in your mind. But your ideal world, right, doesn't line up with the will of the Heavenly Father. And how He envisions the world. What wisdom He plans to, put forth on the earth. So the earth can actually flourish. You watch that, any of the avatars, you watch the new one, they show you as soon as even if their earth died, and the same wisdom and knowledge that they're pushing on this new earth, they think that doesn't even mad science. The same knowledge and way of life, he didn't change. This thing that came doing the same thing and the same result would happen. You see?
Scriptures tell you that too. Can a leopard change his spots? Even he does accustomed to evil, do righteousness, from paraphrasing.
That's right. Esau is a hunter. He's the fowler.
Mm-hmm.
You see, and he's here to hunt and destroy life.
Yeah.
You know, you had a dark side. DC Comics, right? He was looking for the anti-life equation. That's Esau Edom. He's the anti-life equation. See?
He's a hunter, right? And he's gonna become a hunter. And the scripture says. Go to 6. Get straight to the point. When I was watching, it's like what you want to call it? Like a soap opera in Spanish, Escava Blanca, and the guy, the slave master, the Edomites, he would get off on, he would pick slaves and he would hunt them, and the girl would not run. She just sat there and cried and cried and cried, wouldn't give him what he wanted, to the point where he got mad and I believe he just killed her. But he got off on, hunting slaves. That's good, but I believe brother put that in the group chat earlier in the week. You know how Esau gets off on hunting Jacob. All right?
Yep, they show you that in that movie. The whole point of them coming to the planet was to hunt to hunt the two main characters down. You're like, damn, you flew halfway across the galaxy, or whatever, you flew a couple planets over, right, to hunt some dude down. It's crazy. That's Jacob. That's Esau's mindset against Jacob.
This nigga it's called gaming. Hunting wild animals. What? Where's that in the scriptures, Esau? You get mad, yo. How can you not get mad, yo? You want to
Yeah, they show you that in that movie. You're hunting animals. For what? If you wouldn't have likened their resources as 100%, they were taking 5% of the resources.
See? See?
Esau would kill a deer or kill an animal and they just take the head and put it on the wall.
Yep. eat it often, man. But like the tribes, like Gad, Reuben, we would take it and we would use everything we could off the animal, man. Everything. You know? And we have respect for the animals, man. But not this devil. He regard not the life of his beast.
I was like, and that with the plants, I mean, with, you know, your vegetables, your seeds, nobody's just throw that avocado seed in the trash.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, you just throw it in the trash, you know? You're not supposed to do that. You know, there's a wisdom behind all those things.
Yep.
You know, every plant, every part of, you know, Yahweh Shemaiah's creation has a purpose.
Yep.
You know, the skin of the banana, those things all have a purpose.
Got it,
Ezekiel 35:6.
Yep.
Therefore therefore as I live, saith Yahweh power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee.
Yeah, you Edomites, man. The Lord's going to have blood pursue you. For the way you have conducted yourself on the earth, man.
Says, if thou hast not,
Seest thou.
yeah. Seest thou,
Yes, seest thou.
yes, seest thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee.
Yep. Right.
Hate blood.
Yep.
You know? So let's see how you guys being virtual.
Exactly.
And that's what we're gonna do.
Yep.
It's
Come
coming.
up there, we get that spiritual power, we're gonna hunt you out of the dens and the rocks. Right?
Because right now we're just we're spiritually fishing for the elect, but the elect has a job. The elect will always have a job. Everyone's gonna have a job, man. You got it?
Yeah. Jeremiah 11:11. Therefore thus saith Yahweh power, behold, I will bring evil upon them, which they should not be able to escape.
No.
It's Jeremiah 16:16.
Yeah.
Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord.
Right. So the Lord, we're fishing right now. Talk about our apostles and elders, a great milk on them. They were fishers, and they brought us in. Now we're fishermen, and we try to continue this thing about us, man. Bringing this to fish, it represents the elect. That legacy, that's right. Okay?
Yeah, but what do you do when you fish? A fisher, right, you go out to sea and throw a net into the sea.
Yep.
You know, and some good fish came in and some bad
Yep.
fish came in. And when you get them on the boat, you throw the bad fish back into the sea.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why our people, they're in the midst of what the nation, people, they're in the midst of the congregation of the dead. But still, because they're the bad fish.
Yeah, they be shellfish, man.
They're unclean.
Yeah, we throwing back the lobsters that we call up in there. You know, we throwing back the shrimp. You know, we throwing that stuff back, man. And the elect is what's going to stay.
Yeah, because the shellfish, right? They have a purpose to clean up the ocean.
Yep.
Now we're not meant to clean up the ocean. We're meant to rule the ocean.
Exactly.
We're meant to rule this earth. You know?
Right.
We're not meant to do the grunt work. The grunt work. You got the heathens out there in those mining fields, looking for precious stones with their bare hands. Like first I saw the clip Black Adam, how they were all just working in the field, you know, in that pit. That heathens are still doing that to this very day.
Yep.
They act like it's so old practice.
Yeah.
Like it's not being done anymore.
Yeah.
How do you think you get your cell phones, your Tesla car, your Tesla batteries?
Yep.
You know, how do you think you get this technology over here in the West?
Yep.
Through the bloodshed of those who you have under your subjection.
That's right.
You know, but yet Esau, Edom act like they're so high and mighty, they're so innocent, right? When they're, you know, they're the reason why there's so much death in the world.
Right.
So Jeremiah 16:16, behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters.
Yeah, many hunters, man. Yeah, you know, what do hunters do, man? Right? They hunt They search, they seek, and they destroy, man. You know? They devour, man. Especially, you know, when these wild animals, all right? This happened right before my eyes, man. I saw, I don't know what you call this. It was a hawk. Yeah. And it was a pigeon. And the pigeon was flying down like it was about to stop. And before it could reach the ground, the hawk just came. I mean, it was so fast, yo. It was so fast and vicious that it picked the pigeon up and like took it to the ground. And feathers was popping up and everything. I'm like, damn! You know? But he was a hunter. And that's what hunters, they don't play around, they get to the point, man.
So, I was telling me a story how a squirrel had gotten to their house.
Yeah.
They were letting the squirrel out, and the squirrel was running for something. That's why he ran to the house. Then they put him on the tree. The damn hawk came out of nowhere and grabbed his ass. You know, so these birds, you know, that's what a hunter does.
Right.
It goes after his prey, and Esau, Edom, and the heathen nations, according to the will of the Heavenly Father, are going to be made a prey in the earth, just like we've been made a prey. The Lord's going to make them like how we've been made.
Apex predators, like they're not hunted, but they do the hunting.
They're the top of the food chain.
Yep.
Like what hunts lions and eats lions? You know? They say only lions eat other lions. You see? They're on the top of the food chain. And that's going to be the nation of Israel. As we've been the chosen nation of the Heavenly Father to rule the planet Earth, that was the blessing that Jacob received from his father Isaac. For nations to bow down to serve him. And that's the inheritance that Yahushua is going to share with us, his people. Jeremiah 16:16, it says, and after I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill.
These different governments, these smaller governments, we're going to hunt these Edomites, man. And these other nations. Why? Because we're going to establish the order of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai on earth, man. On earth as it is in heaven. We're going to establish it here, man. Okay? Now, you know, the Lord has given me visions, big visions, but, I had a vision one time that me and another brother went into this building and all the Edomites start scattering out, man. They had on their business suits and stuff like that. You had the women in their little business skirts and suits and stuff like that, and they were running, trying to get away, and we just like were just getting busy, man. And I always thought about that scripture right here, man. Who knows? This could be something I was seeing over the other brother. Who knows? Right? But the point is, we're going to chase Esau. Esau chased us. Blood's going to pursue him, man. Right. All right? They're going to feel that fear that we felt. All right?
And still feel.
What's that?
I said, and still feel.
Yeah, still feel. Yeah, still feel it.
It says, they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out the holes of the rocks.
Yeah, so there's no hiding, Esau. Right? They got these, what are them, dumps again? Dumps? Yeah, dumps, all right? You can turn it off.
It says, for my eyes are upon all their ways, and they are not hid from my face. Neither is their iniquity hid from my eyes.
So this is a losing battle, Esau. What you got conjured up, what you got planned, is not going to come to fruition, man. All right? You thinking, yeah, you're going to survive because you're supposed to survive because you're going to be the first crop of slaves, man. So yeah, a lot of you will survive those dumps, man. All right? But not the ones with those cheap dumbs, They're the ones that, you know, those little makeshift drums, you know. The ones they have people build up in their houses.
Like the Cloverfield.
Cloverfield, yeah. That's it. That's their twin song. That's a casket.
You see them be coming out, being down there.
Yep.
Yeah, you're in a box, bro.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You're the damn, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like,
I've been in prison.
exactly.
Hey, that's why a lot of people jumped from buildings during the whole lockdown, man. People was confined in one area, couldn't go out and do nothing. Nothing wrong with their car.
You know?
Dude, that young, this thing about how to get out of jail. You talk about that building.
So the owner, right?
Yeah.
They making book
Huh?
money.
Yeah.
Well, those department stores are failing. You know what I mean?
I don't know, bro. A lot of women be in there, man.
Going to the fish right now.
Yeah.
It's Leviticus chapter 26, verse 7. And you shall chase your enemies, and they shall fall before you by the sword. And it says, and 5 of you shall chase 100, and 100 of you shall put 10,000 to flight, and your enemies shall fall before you by the sword. Leviticus chapter 26, verse 7, it says, and you shall chase your enemies, and they shall fall before you by the sword. You know, it's going into the time where Yahweh is going to lift up their standard, you know. And, like I said, 2 Thessalonians, you know, it's a righteous thing to recompense tribulation unto them that trouble you. So this is what Yahweh is going to have done in the earth for his men of the Lord. It says, and 5 shall chase, and 5 of you shall chase 100, and 100.
It's like 5 should chase 100. You know, you think now, how is it going to do that? Well, we're telling you, those who are hunted, the nation of Israel, the elect men are going to become the hunters. You know, that standard.
Yeah!
Yahweh Shah is going to destroy a lot of these heathens.
Let's pray. Let's
You
pray.
know? That's where everybody's going to witness.
Let's pray right there.
You know? And what you're going to witness, that rod of iron is coming. You know, we're going to rule you nations because, you know, as the elders in Dallas they were going into, these heathens have lived thousands of years under their customs and their ways. They're going to have to be, you know, that fire is going to have to be put to them. You know, to purge out that iniquity, to purge out, you know, the things that they have, you know, engraved in their minds, which is wickedness. You know?
It says Leviticus chapter 26, verse 8, and 5 of you shall chase 100, and 100 of you shall put 10,000 to flight.
Yeah, and Esau, that's why he's so cautious to move on us. He understands, you know, the powers that our men and our forefathers had in ancient times. You know, Gideon, you know, how David slayed his tens of thousands. You know, Saul slayed his thousands.
Samson, you know, with a jawbone of the ass, he slew all the Philistines.
That's right. So they know, and they know these stories are real. You know, they know. I saw something yesterday about UFO sightings, right? So-called those chariot sightings, the chariots of Israel, you know, are mainly here in the United States and over there in Israel. You know, if you look at a map of the whole world, you know, they lit up over the last 50 years. Where are they mainly at? Here in America. Because the Yahweh Shai is going to enter into the house of the thief that has stolen and destroyed the earth, stolen all the resources, right? So this power has to come, and this power, 100 men chasing 1,000, right? 1-to-100 ratio is us, so we can put you into captivity, you know? So we can put chains around about your neck, you know, to put you into obedience.
It's Psalms 18:32, going down to 40. It says, "It is Yahweh that girdeth me with strength and maketh my way perfect."
Yeah, so the Lord is the one who's girding our minds, you know, with strength. You see? So the Lord is the one who's girding us. And during this time, we don't need a body armor. You know, as anyone will come and sit. When you watch the Avatar, it's going to take, it shows you that it's going to take spiritual power to overcome Esau and his technology. You know, his technology, his wisdom, right, that he has gathered to create his weapons. You know, well, the wisdom of Yahweh Shai far exceeds that. You know, we have the understanding to know by calling on the name of Yahweh Shai, nothing's impossible for us. You see?
Psalms 18:32, it says, "It is Yahweh that girdeth me with strength and maketh my way perfect." Verse 33, "He maketh my feet like men's feet and strengthened me upon high places." It says, "He teacheth my hands to war, so that a bow of steel is broken in my arm."
And this is the Psalm of David. You know, the Heavenly Father, when you watch that movie, Legend of the Sword, King Arthur, when King Arthur grabbed that sword, it showed you his hands were taught war. You know, the Heavenly Father is going to teach us war. In a sense, he's gonna just like Neo, right? He's going to download it to us because we are connected to the source. You know, we are connected to Yahweh. There's nothing too hard for him to do for us.
Yep, Psalm 18:35. "Thou hast also given me thy shield and thy salvation, and thy right hand have holding me up."
Yeah, the shield of our salvation is Yahweh Shai. This knowledge, this truth that we've been given to cover us, to protect us.
Yep.
You know, because no matter how mighty you are, if your mind can be easily tricked and swayed, right? They show you, if your mind can be lose the fight, right? No matter how mighty you are, no matter how many push-ups you can do, how great of a warrior you are, you know, if your mind can't endure the test of the battles, you're gonna lose. And Yahweh Shema Shai, He strengthens our minds daily to be able to endure the persecution that's coming. Right? We're getting a glimpse of what's coming. You see?
Yep, the Psalm chapter 18, verse 35. It says, "Thou hast also given me the shield, thy salvation, and thy right hand have holding me up."
Yeah, Yahweh Shai is the one holding us up. You know, not to harp on that movie too much, but it shows you. You know, it's going to take all that we have to overcome. And then once we've given all that we have, who's going to be there? Yahweh Shai. You know, Yahweh Shai is going to be there to lift us up. You know, to get us through the final steps. You see, because we can't get there on our own. You see? Yeah, not these bodies.
Yep, it says, "And thy gentleness have made me great. Thou hast enlarged my steps under me, that my feet do not slip."
Because Esau Edom is trying to compass us about, you know, to where we can't go anymore. But the Lord is enlarging us, you know, enlarging our steps. He's making broad our path, you know, where we can walk, you know, freely. We can move, we can operate, especially during these times of trouble that we're coming into. The Heavenly Father is going to make a way for you and your families to eat. You know, when border troops, when there's checkpoints lined up on every, you know, wherever they are, right? You know, checkpoints lined up might be 1 or 2 blocks away, right? Where you're down to your last little piece of bread, you know, your last bottle of water. Well, you can't leave the house, right? Now the Heavenly Father is going to make a way. He's going to strengthen you. That's how it shall upholding us, right? Read it again.
It says, Psalm 18 and 35, it says, "In thy right hand have you holding me up, and thy gentleness has made me great. Thou hast enlarged my steps under me, that my feet did not slip."
Yeah, and Esau, Edom, you know, scripture say what? I had slipped. At least I hope to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. You know, that's another precept, but I had slipped. You know, unless the Lord had been my hope. So, unless the Lord would have been our hope, you know, that scripture talks about being courageous. Why are we able to be courageous and be brave and be so bold in the face of our enemies? Because Yahweh Shai is on our side. And we understand what that means. We're speaking of a being that we can't understand his origins. We can't understand his power. We can't understand, you know, him and that he is. That's all we know that he is. You know, that's all we know, truly understand about him. Is, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's why he's the Most High. So he is, you know, a great king in the heavens, and he has a kingdom in the heaven, right? Where he has order, he has life, everything's set up, beautiful, right? Everything's in order, and he has an army in the heavens, and that army is gonna come to the earth and defend his people, right?
It says, verse 37, Psalms 18 and 37, "I have pursued my enemies and overtaken them."
See, we're gonna have the confidence in the given that power to no longer are we on the run. There's gonna come a time where Yahweh Shema Shai is gonna lift up that standard, and the Lord is gonna be fighting back. You know, through his men. That's what we're about to see. You see these guys, you know, they come in, they speak a good game, and then they just give up the fight. It's like, whoa, what do you mean? I thought you was gonna win. But nah, the victory comes through Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, you know, it reminds me of a movie back in the 80s, I think it was the 80s. And one of my favorite movies, man, I can watch it every day, called Bloodsport, with Jean-Claude Van Damme. And what's my man name? Bolo. Yeah, what's his name? Bolo. And at the end of the movie, at the end of the fight, Bolo he was cheating. He was something like, yeah, he couldn't see. And you know, he thought, oh, this game over with him. You know what I'm saying? But you know, he calmed himself down and took him out without even seeing it, man. And that's the situation that we're going to be in these days, man.
But it looks like you watching the fight.
Yeah.
Damn, he about to lose.
Yep.
Damn, he about to win, and then a miracle happens.
Yep.
You know, it's like, damn, how the hell we do that?
Exactly.
The Yahweh Shema Shai, that is how we're gonna win. You know, and that's what you gotta understand. That's why you should be doing all that you can to get under this cover, to get into the good graces of the Heavenly Father.
I might watch that movie tonight, man. It's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, that's a classic right there. Yeah, I grew up off that. Yeah.
It's Psalms 18 and 37. It says, "I have pursued my enemies and overtaken them." It says, "Neither did I turn again till they were consumed."
And that's what's going to happen. The spirit, you know, that Yahweh Shema Shai, the order that Yahweh Shema Shai sent Saul to do, to slay all the Amalekites, right? Well, they about to be slain, you know? And that's what's about to happen. There ain't going to be, you know, a last chance of rebellion in the kingdom of heaven. But they're going to have their little, you know, we just can't get through these headquarters. You know, we can't break through their defenses. Nah, the Lord is coming back without any effort. You know, and that's why it's so dramatic where he's gathering up all the armies, you know, so they can't say, oh, if only this, you know, if only all of our armies came together. If only we had the best technology, we would have got done building that last weapon. You know, that would have been our answer. No, the Heavenly Father is allowing Esau to build up his military, you know, to do all these things, so that when he comes, you're like, damn, that was the height of their, you know, kingdom. He destroyed them at their height when they had all this military power. You see?
It says Psalm 18 and 38 says, I would have wounded them that they were not able to rise. They are fallen under my teeth. For thou hast girded me with strength unto the battle. Thou hast subdued under me those that rose up against me. It says, thou hast also given me the necks of my enemies, that I might destroy them that hate me.
That's right. See, those that hate us are going to be destroyed. Those that hate us, you know, is who Yahushua is against, as he's coming to save us from the hand of our enemies. And from those that hate us, that have taught us lies, that has fed us the slop of the earth, that told us there wasn't enough resources on the earth. You know, there's not enough resources. You know how the earth is massive.
Sure.
It took 6,000 years to build the earth. You don't think there's enough resources for this small, short little time that the earth has been, you know, in play? No, a million years. That's a damn lie.
Right.
You know? Can you get up Psalms 118 and verse 9, verse 8? 18. Yeah, I'm fine with 18.
Psalms 118 and 8. Is it 9? It's 8. Psalms 118 and 5. I called upon the Lord in distress. The Lord, the Yahushua, answered me.
And that's what's coming, a time of distress. So, a time of distress is coming. And we're going to call upon Yahushua in that time of distress. You know, where you're going to be stressed out. You're not going to know, you're not going to have a clear way, you know, of how you're going to be able to survive the day or the next day. You know, that's the times we're coming, things are about to get tight. Esau, you know, the squeeze, like brother saying, the squeeze is on. You know? And a lot of people are going to give up. A lot of people are going to run, you know, to Esau either for help, for support. He's going to stab you in the back.
Yeah. What Esau got coming is built to make you give in. Alright? We had the spirit of our forefather, Jacob, the rest of the angels. And wouldn't give up, man. Wouldn't give up.
You couldn't receive the blessing.
Right.
You know, no matter what adversity. It said with a tie out of joint, you know, in our afflictions, we're going to continue to fight. Lord is willing for that blessing, you know, which is the promise of the kingdom of heaven. All right, and when you watch, you know, they show you in that movie, the guy was like, we just have to fight. You know, we just have to, we can't just let our enemy just keep doing whatever he wants. Because Jake is a peaceful people, right? We're at peace. We want to be at peace, right? But Esau, Edom, right? We are for peace, but when they speak, they are for war, right? Esau and he is for war, and you just can't, you know? I was watching, they kicking at us, keep kicking at us. And I forgot what Jake was doing, you know? Jake was roused up. You should say, who shall rouse them up? You know, Judah's gonna get our terror. You know, but it starts with this knowledge is truth first.
And the scriptures say that divides iniquity and work evil upon their bed. That's how we know who they are, man. Yeah. You know, like your brother's going into Jake is a piece of people. You ever go to any Jake's house? Negro, Latino, Native American, we chilling, man. We going somewhere on the grill. You know, got a little music, we chilling, got a little brew, so we chilling, man. Without these Edomites, they're always working on how they can overthrow somebody, man. That's a demon for you, man. Psalms 118 and 5. I called upon the Lord in distress. The Lord answered me and set me in a large place. It says, verse 6, the Lord is on my side. I will not fear what man can do unto me.
The Lord is on my side. The Lord is on our side. You in the truth. You know, you follow the ways of the Lord. The Lord is on your side. Brothers catch persecution of the job. You know, in the day-to-day, we can see when you people have a disdain and hatred for us in our day-to-day life, but we're different. We have the Lord on our side. And in the times that we're coming into, you see the woke mob, how they come in one accord up against those that trust, you know, in some, those that not trust, but those that speak against what they want in the earth. So they're going to come, you best believe, everybody's going to be, you got to get those guys off the streets. Just like people cry for Roe v. Wade, people cry for guns to be taken off the streets. They're going to cry for this truth to be taken away. You know, and that's when the heat is going to be on. You know, and they're going to have false allegations, false lies, but none of those things are going to matter because the Lord is on our side. You know, you best believe the Lord right there. You know, He's right there with us, watching it all, making sure things don't happen to us. We hear about he was on the way to work, but they gave him the day off, but there was a big accident on the highway. Right? That's the Lord showing you He's with us.
Psalms 118 and 6, it says again, the Lord is on my side. I will not fear what man can do unto me. Verse 7, the Lord hath taken my part with them. It says that help me. Therefore shall I see my desire from them that hate me.
And our desire is to see their fall. You see, and that's all we really want, to see the fall of Babylon the Great. And that's what, you know, keeps us going. Because we, as the visionaries, as the watchmen, you know, we're just witnessing the fall of the fall of Edom's kingdom. You know, the power of the Heavenly Father. You see, and that is our desire, and that's what causes us and gives us the strength to keep pushing forward. I saw this thing on how time is linear. You know, you can't change how they you know, this diagram that I saw. They show how the planets are just, Earth is just moving linear through space. You know, and then you have the other galaxies, and everything's just going straight. Meaning what? We're headed towards the kingdom of heaven. There's no changing it. Esau had his technology, that project of looking glass, where they were able to use their technology, right, to look into the future, and every outcome, no matter what they did, came out to be the same. Meaning they lose in the end, and they understand that. And to those who have this knowledge of the scripture, we don't need those things, right? We have Yahweh Shai. That's right. We have Yahweh Shai. In St. John 16:63. St. John 16, verse 33. Chapter 16, verse 33.
St. John chapter 16, verse 33. These things have I spoken unto you.
What history was it? I think so. We go to you.
St. John 16:31 says, Yahweh shall answer them, do ye not believe?
Yes, right there.
In St. John 16:31, Yahweh shall answer them, do ye now believe?
Yes, do you now believe? Because now is the time to believe. You know, now is the time to believe in Yahweh Shai. You know? Believe the works. Believe that the works that the Heavenly Father is doing in the earth, that He is real. You see, in His works were declared from time of old, and where can you find that in the Holy Scriptures?
Verse 32, behold, the hour cometh, yea, it is now come, that ye shall be scattered, every man to his own.
Yeah, this was when Yahweh Shai was on the scene, but they came after the head. They came after Yahweh Shai, which was our head. Right? And they're going to come after the head of our leaders again today. And Jacob's going to scatter. You know, they're going to flee into hiding. You know, because what? That's, you know, they're going to flee into the secret place of Yahweh Shai. They're going to be taken off the streets. Okay? When that hour is coming, you gotta prepare your mind. Well, you're not gonna be able to call a brother up on the phone when you're feeling low. You have to be able to encourage yourself. You're not gonna be able to just watch a video. This wisdom, this knowledge is gonna have to be in you.
On, verse 33, verse 32, every man to his own, and shall leave me alone, and yet I am not alone.
And this was the attitude of Yahweh Shai. He understood that his men, his disciples, were going to depart from him, according to biblical prophecy, right? I believe that's in Hosea, Amos, right? That was going to happen. He said, but I am not alone. And this is what we have to understand. We are not alone. Okay?
Because the Father is with me.
And Yahweh Shai is what? He's our head. Right? Just like Yahweh Shai, that's Yahweh Shai's head. So our head is not going to leave us. As Yahweh Shai, he told us, I will not leave you comfortless. I will come on to you. I will never forsake you. Right?
Verse 33, these things I have spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace.
That in Yahweh Shai you might have peace. In the words that he spoke unto us. Right? Because the world is speaking of a different conversation, a different vision. You know? And there's no hope in what they see. Right? But in Yahweh Shai, in him, we might have peace. Go ahead.
In the world ye shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer.
But be of good cheer, be of comfort. And that's what we are out here doing, comforting our people with the words of Yahweh Shema Shai. Right? If you don't find comfort that a kingdom for you is coming, right? If you don't find comfort that it don't matter what happened on the earth, you're going to be taken care of, then there's something mentally wrong with you. You know, there's something wrong with you. Not the message, with you, the individual. You know, that's bucking up against the truth of Yahweh Shema Shai. You're mentally sick. And that's why you're going to be taken out of the way.
It reminds me of like when these big top program basketball teams play these like, you know, insignificant guys. You know they're going to get their ass beat insignificant guys. But they know there's a check comes to that school at the end of the day. A big check. See, when these small schools play these big schools, they get a big check from that school. You know what I'm saying? To help with their athletics, whatever the case may be. We know we gonna go through so much aspects to get in trouble, but we know we gotta go through these certain things, and the Lord's gonna be with us.
That's right.
To get that check at the end of the day. You know?
That's right.
We know that check coming.
Read it again, Trevor. Right, he's on from the top, St. John 16:33. These things I have spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace. In the world ye shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world.
That's right. Yahweh Shai overcame the world. And we being Yahweh Shai, we're going to overcome. That's right. The elect of Yahweh Shema Shai are going to overcome. You know, and we're fighting to be part of that number. You know? That's why we're giving our diligence to make our calling and election sure. For if you do these things, you shall never fall. You know? We ain't looking to fall or fail. You know?
You know, real fast, the funny thing is, you as a Christian, well, what are you doing to reach salvation? Show me what you're doing to please the Lord. You know?
What we're building that ark.
They couldn't tell you. And if they did, well, show me a scripture.
Oh, yeah, okay. Kind of what they do.
Yeah, what they do.
Okay, I thought you said what they asked us what we do.
No. They couldn't tell you.
They think they're already saved.
Right.
They think because they said Jesus Christ. How did a Christian ask me that? I was like, it's a, you know, you young, you zealous. I was like, it's the spirit that quickeneth. You know, the flesh profits nothing. We ain't saved yet. You know, it's like, it's the spirit that's going to quicken us.
That's all lady.
You know, right? She looked at me like, I was like, hey.
What you talking about, Willis?
But you have 3 something you bring up? If not, I got one. That was it. Good. Get St. John 14 and 25. Can you get Romans 8?
Yeah. St. John 14 and 25. These things have I spoken unto you, being yet present with you.
That's right. So Yahweh Shai, when he was present with his men, he was speaking unto them these words to comfort them. Right? And that's what this time of grace is for now, so you can be comforted by Yahweh Shai. Not by us. This Yahweh Shai speaking. He comes in the volume of the book. It is written of him. Right? These things that we're speaking, these things that we're telling you about is what Yahweh Shai is going to do. Right? Go ahead.
It goes on, verse 26. But the Comforter, which is the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, he shall teach you all things, and bring all things to your remembrance.
All things. That's the 100% truth. Right? All things are going to be brought back into remembrance. Not partial. Everything that we need to know in telling salvation. Right? Everything that Yahweh Shai told his disciples when he was on the scene, we know those things again today. Right? Go ahead. And that's all through the Holy Spirit. And how do we have the Holy Spirit? Through Yahweh Shai's sacrifice, where he was able to loose the seals of the Holy Bible to unlock the mysteries of this book and send those down, via the holy angels and to work on our minds. So the elect, the remnant, the believers can be comforted in these last days.
That's the spirit earlier. We were saying we have to be out here, rain, sleep, whatever. Like this brother right here, you didn't see the brothers out there, right?
Yeah. I didn't see him over there.
Didn't see him over there. So if we would have packed it up, you know what I'm saying? Brother probably would have went home.
That's right.
They here though.
But keep reading.
It moves on, verse 26. He shall teach you all things, and bring all things to your remembrance, whatsoever I have said unto you.
Keep going.
Verse 27. Peace I leave with you.
That's right. Yahweh Shai is leaving us with peace before we come into these dark times. Right? Peace. A peace of mind. Right? And not only that, that peace comes with us being corrected, being rebuked. Right? So we can be sharpened. You know? Yeah.
It reads on, verse 27.
Actually,
Peace.
hold that real quick.
Hebrews 2:1. Give heed.
Yep.
Therefore we ought to give the more earnest heed to the things which we have heard, lest at any time we should let them slip.
That's right. The earnest heed. Look at that word earnest. It goes into serious. So we should be taking. When you take heed to something, right? When you take heed, I give you instruction to the super mall, right? To the shopping mall. When you heard the instructions, right? You following those instructions is you taking heed. So we should be taking heed to the things that Yahweh Shai warned us about. We should be taking heed to the instruction that Yahweh Shai, how he taught us to build, to deal amongst brothers, right? To build up his kingdom. You know, how he wants the dealings to be done. You know, how he wants this to be ran, right? We should be taking the earnest heed to that. At least at any time we should cause, at least these things should slip from our minds. You gotta take this thing serious. Because if you don't, you're like, that's not. And then you can slip, you can fall out of this thing. That was all I wanted. But go back to St. John and we bring out that Romans, something.
St. John. This St. John 14:27. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you. Not as the world giveth, give I unto you.
Yeah, not as the world giveth. You know, the world is giving you, lies. A false, like I say, a false sense of peace. A false sense of hope. That's what the world is giving you. Speak they of the world, therefore the world heareth them. You know, we are speaking of Yahweh Shemal Shai, and he that is of Yahweh Shemal Shai is going to hear it. They're going to be dancing to this tune. They're going to come under this vibration, right? And follow this way. Because a vibration is going out into the earth. A vibration of righteousness, order, obedience to Yahweh Shemal Shai, and a heavier vibration of wickedness is going out. And a lot of niggas are dancing to that tune. You see?
It reads on, let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid.
That's right, because all hell is about to break loose on the shores of America. And we ain't troubled, we ain't worried. You know, you average peons, you people of the world, you should be troubled. You should be very afraid about what's coming. Because there ain't, I think it's so, they'll tell you, if they can cancel a guy with all money, wealth, right? What hope left is there for you? Pretty much, you just better keep eating, and not say a word. Just keep working, eating, right? Going home to your apartment building with 50 other people living in that thing. Every damn day you got the nigga upstairs walking, right? You over here walking on eggshells in your own damn house. You know, you can't even, you worry about turning on the lights because the electricity bill gonna be too damn high. Worry about turning on the heat, then you have a damn, I can't let the heat get too high. It's like, damn. Can't play the music too loud. It's like, but you're free though. You got something to celebrate here. You gotta go back to your cage, which is your apartment building. That's your cage. You only let out to work, to go pay bills.
That's right.
You know? But Jake don't see it like that. I got this badass pad, bro. I'm trying to get some comfy furniture.
670 square feet.
Literally.
You know?
1,000 square feet, bro.
1,000
What the hell is
square
that? 1,000 square feet. Square footage.
Right.
1,000 square footage, bro. God damn. So you got some. Keep reading. Was there any more than that?
Yeah, verse 28.
Okay.
It reads on verse 28, ye have heard now, verse 28, ye have heard how I said unto you, I go away and come again unto you. If ye love me, you will rejoice.
If you love me, you actually understood what that means. Not only am I opening the truth for you, you know, in the time of the disciples, but now we can have that in these days. So you actually understand the will of the Heavenly Father. You know, Yahweh Shai, he laid down his life for us. And we gotta honor that sacrifice by doing the work. By us being willing to make sacrifice in our day-to-day lives. Alright? That was it, right?
Because I said, I go unto the Father, for my Father is greater than I.
Yahweh, the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, so you gotta go back to a greater power source. Look at that, be given that authority and dominion in the heavens. You gotta think of Yahweh Shai as our champion, right? Came down, whooped everybody's ass on the earth, and now he's sitting in the seat of authority. He's our champion, he's a God. He has all power. You think Yahweh Shai can do it. That's what you got. Can't be thinking on a low level. He's just a man that walked the earth. No, he's a God.
Right.
Romans 8:1. There is therefore now no condemnation.
Verse 28.
Romans 8:28 says, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love Yahweh.
See, this gotta be in your mind. When you're going through those tribulations, right? When you're going through, you know, they cutting hours at the job.
Yep.
Well, I know that all things work good for us, right? Those that be in Yahweh by Shemal Shai, it's gonna work out for our benefit at the end of the day. It's gonna work out for our good. No matter what way happens. But, oh, now I see the bigger picture. You know, when you in the hole, right? You can't see, you know, you can't see what lies ahead. When you in that tribulation, you can't see what's ahead of you. You know, if your head down, you working. You know, so we working to get, you know, when we in those tribulations, you know, our minds are being worked on, we're being strengthened, right? But ahead, we gotta have that hope, and that's why we keep moving forward. It's gonna work out for our good. You got it, bro.
Yes. Romans 8:28, it says, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love Yahweh, to them who are called according to His purpose.
Those that love the Most High, right? I like that movie Gladiator. You know, they feared the king, right? The wicked king. They feared him, but they loved, I forgot the dude's name, Maximus, because of his mercy. You know, and we fear Yahweh by Shema Shai. That makes us going to be obedient, but we love him because of his mercy. You know, and that's what you know, he's going to show mercy. And that's what we're looking for, to those who are called according to his purpose. You know, we gotta, you know, brothers, we are put on this earth, you know, Lord's will, Jeremiah 1:4, right? With a purpose, to do the will of the Heavenly Father. Whom shall I send? Who shall go forth?
Me.
Send me, Lord. Here I am.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta believe that that's us written in that story. You know? Got it.
Yeah, this is Romans 8:29. They got it back. I see his brother over his woman. Woman's supposed to hold that over you, man.
She's supposed to be like this.
Yeah.
You know, women's short, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's easy. Some of that they just like, I don't want to deal with it. But you know, that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Romans 8:29. For whom he did foreknow, he also did predestine.
Yeah, those who he foreknew, he knew us in the heavens. Before we were, you know, birds like always say, before we were an earthly family, we're a heavenly family. You know, and this is just a movie. The Lord like, yeah, look, you know, I got plans, so this is how I want it done. These next couple thousands of years, this is how it's gonna play out. And we got those. We already knew that this was gonna, you know. Of course, Yahweh Shai knew. He shares his secret with us, right? We can only speculate.
Yep.
But of course, right? We can't. You know.
Yep.
We can only speak on the things that's written. But Yahweh by Shema Shai, you know, this is what he has purpose for us. He foreknew us in the heavens.
Yep.
And now, as he promised us, as he is a man of his word, has woken us up in these last days.
Yep.
You know? And who else is it? You know, who else is it? You know what I'm saying like that? Who else is it? You know, where are you at?
Yeah.
You know, we out here making our calling and election show. Where are you at? What are you doing? You know, what's constantly on your mind? Is the word of Yahweh Shema Shai really on your mind? Are you really sincere? If you are, then, hey, give praise the Lord. Because that's what we fight for. We fight to be sincere in the eyes of the Lord. Our intent to do good. Our intent to perform the righteous works of Yahweh Shema Shai.
That's right.
We're putting our best foot forward. That's our intent. You got it.
Romans 8:29 says, for whom he did foreknow, he also did predestine to be conformed to the image of his son.
To be conformed to the image of his son. And that's what we're doing now. By the renewing of our minds.
Yep.
You know, casting off the filth and the works of darkness. We're being made in the image of his only begotten son, who was a man on a mission.
You know, it's funny, when I first came in, you got a demon, you tell your demon, right? Oh, we gotta take pictures, you know, we gotta sort of set us back. You know, in the world, you know what I'm saying? It's true, black man, fuck no. You know? You gotta, you know, you know what I'm saying? You might see me, might get the hard on, you know what I'm saying? You know, that's darkness, man. That's darkness, man.
It's just a Christmas tree.
Yeah. Right.
You're bringing something dead into your house.
Exactly.
That is a vibration.
Right.
I was playing this. I forgot what I was doing yesterday, but I was, I'm outside. socks, they were doing the laundry, and damn, you know, the things of the socks. Immediately after that, I damn stubbed my finger or something. I was like, see, that's, you know, this is filth, this is dirt. You know what I mean? We're a holy people. We're supposed to be pure. Our way, everything about us is supposed to be clean, pure, righteous. In the ways of wicked and filth. Because what is that mold? What is that mildew? Those are demons. You know? That's why you gotta keep your house clean. That's why they say a clear space helps you think better. A clean house makes you, because those demons aren't plaguing your thoughts. You know?
Romans 8 and 29. It says that he might be firstborn among many brethren. It says, moreover, verse 30, he who did predestinate, them he also called, and whom he called, them he also justified.
And we're looking to be justified by Yahweh Shema. We're not looking for the justification of the world.
Yep.
So let me check the Twitter comments. Let me see if they're justifying of what we're doing. Get on. Hey, get that scripture I posted in the chat. Read that scripture. Because this is a wicked and perverse generation. We don't care about your opinion. You think we care about the opinions of someone that doesn't know who they are, or what they are, or what's good for them? We don't. We got it, bro.
This is Mark 8 and 38. Whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and of my words in this adulterous and sinful generation.
Are you ashamed of the Lord in the midst of adulterous and sinful generation? Are you really ashamed to come out here to tell your family, nah, I ain't going to the Christmas party this year? Well, why not, man? Why not? Are you really ashamed of he's a weirdo? You know, oh, he's bugged out. He's crazy. You think we're going to be ashamed of your words? He's a pedophile. A rapist. Because that's what's coming. Do you think we're going to be ashamed to stand up for righteousness? That's not the spirit the Lord has upon us.
Sure.
Read it again.
Mark 8 and 38. Whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and of my words in this adulterous and sinful generation.
These people are bugged out of their minds. We're not wrong. What's wrong is this messed up world that we live in. That's what's wrong. And those those who have come back to the knowledge of the light, Yahweh Shai, see that. And we see that you're in darkness. We see that you're the one wallowing in the mud. You know, constantly consuming yourself with the filth and the ways of this world. Social media. Right? We see those trends. There's something wrong with you, not us. We got it.
Mark 8:38. Whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and of my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him also shall the Son of Man be ashamed.
I'm ashamed to call you my servant. I'm ashamed I even called you into this thing. So we can't be ashamed. You know? Ezra saw men sitting upon Mount Zion, men who stood simply for the name, for the reputation of Yahweh Shai. And guess what? They had crowns in their hands. You see, they had gotten the victory. You see? And that's what we are looking to be a part of. We don't care about the opinions of the world. Why should a man, you know, who's looking for sovereignty care about, you know, be a man? You know, you say something about?
Yeah, it's shame, it's adjective. He's embarrassed or guilty because of one's actions.
And are you embarrassed that this is the way, this is the law about how you handle the grape situation? Are you embarrassed about that? This is an ancient way, and some of the laws I read them, damn. You know what I mean? Like one of the customs, if the husband died, the brother died, like you got sleep there. You know, it's like, I mean, you just like brothers like to say, like the elders like to say, you gotta have faith that it's better than this. You You know? We don't know how, you know?
But they even let that go up, they're not gonna
Yeah, yeah.
you know?
Right, yeah, exactly.
You know?
We ain't never gonna die.
Exactly.
Exactly. We ain't never gonna die. We're gonna be fruitful and multiply in the earth.
But the heathens do.
Heathens, though.
You ever see Home Alone? The first one? Where he was going through his brother's chest and he saw his brother's girlfriend, like, oh, his girlfriend.
Yeah.
You know? So, if Buzz gets put back in the spirit world, hey, gotta get it in, buddy.
I know, right?
You know? Yeah, that happened with, what was it,
Judith, yeah.
Yeah.
She go, I mean, I believe she was fine as hell. You know what I mean? Come on, bro. That tells you that something wrong with Jake.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You gotta know. Come on, bro. He was ready. He was like, yeah, whatever. I just need some now. Whatever you offer, I take it. How much? I got plenty of money. Money ain't the problem.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you gotta have faith that what's coming is better. So we can't be ashamed of the old way. Scripture says, seek ye the old way, ask for the old path. Where is the good way and walk ye in? Yep.
It says, shamefaced, guilty, humiliated.
Humiliated. Now shame is upon you, and you heathens. You wicked jakes, shame is upon you. We ain't what we gotta be ashamed of? Have you seen the women? Have you seen how they are shameless? They don't care how many guys they get with. They don't care how many lives they ruin. They don't care. Child support, put them on. They don't care about you, right?
Romans 8 and 30.
Oh, a little bit more, Mark? Okay, got it.
So the top, Mark 8:38. Whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and of my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him also shall the Son of Man be ashamed when he cometh in the glory of his Father with the holy angels.
With the holy angels. That's what we're about to see. Power from on high is about to come to the planet Earth. And a lot of people are going to be very afraid. You got damn right to be afraid. You got every reason to be afraid. Your maker has a problem with you. You know? You better be afraid. Because you have put Yahweh Shema Shai, especially those in the faith that fell out to open shame. You see? Woe unto you. And what will you do when the Lord shall visit you? You know, those that lost patience. You know? The holy angel is coming. If you lose faith, you doubt, well, you're gonna lose out on the best opportunity that you've ever had in a lifetime. The salvation of Israel, the salvation for those that stood simply, that wouldn't give up. Right? But with that, we're gonna close out. It's been a beautiful weekend. Preaching the word, being in season, out of season. Right? Continue to fight, continue to endure. The future looks glim and dark, but remember, we have the light. And we gotta look towards that light as our hope of salvation. With that, we're gonna close out, give him all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father, His only begotten Son.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
Double honor to the Apostle and Elders, the great millstone, teaching us, forms in truth, according to the Bible, well, and peace and blessings, so collect with the nation of Israel. Next time we say, Shalom.
Shalom.